Well, we can see where this takes us. We don't know how to free him. We just know that we have to essentially go to the depths of a sunken city and go to Corellian's temple and see what is next there. This was a key back in there's Rise to actually gain entrance to that temple. But we don't exactly know how to free him yet. We've only gotten a few visions of where he's leading us to. So we're following the breadcrumbs. Currently, we're off to help out Bardet here, but afterwards, I believe we were about to venture down into the lost area. You're more than welcome to join us, and if you are a friend or acquaintance of Zeno, then we'd definitely love to have you along, because we know how his truth and his honor has led him thus far. But we're just a bunch of people who are following a dream.
This am I, though the sunken. Yeah, I believe you're referring to Cal Moreau. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. I cannot understand why any of you would want to go into the desert. It is so hot here, but I'd be glad to join you. I, myself, am a paladin. I have sworn my oath to the pursuit of glory and fame. So, should this bring it to me, I will happily join the group and achieve said much.
Well, if you're looking
sorry.
I was going to say, well, if you're looking for fame, before we came out here, before we go to Calmoro, I think the group wanted to get into the gladiator pet and see if we can get renowned for ourselves in Ank'Harel, and that could be the start of your fame.
His eyes widen. Yes. Yes. What a wonderful idea.
And if you decide that this is the right group for you and we earn your trust and vice versa, then perhaps some of our existing renown of apprehending agents of mystery could perhaps rub off on yourself.
I think you have quite a point there. You can achieve much more with many hands. And those many hands will create a group, and that group creates this esteem.
Yes.
And I will be part of that. I agree. Yes.
You will have to definitely tell us more about yourself, and as my beginning of what I had said was definitely we appreciate, especially as you've just seen, a member has just left our group, and numbers do matter in times of crisis. But definitely need to get to know you.
Well, that's only fair. What do you need to know? I share no secrets. I am.
You don't share your secrets?
Well, I'm Sir Winston.
Can I roll insight on that?
Heat stroke is kicking in.
Who am I?
You'll share all secrets. Can I roll insight on that?
There's no secrets.
I hold no secrets.
Holds no secrets. There you go.
Like I said, why are you in the desert? It's so hot.
Because every now and again, after apprehending, what is it now? She turns over to the rest of the party. Are we at 3? Apprehending 3 people within the last, 48 hours?
Apprehended 2, killed 1.
There you go.
Well,
We needed, I think, a little bit of a break. And a little bit of training. As Riot mentioned, plan on taking a little visit to the arena.
I, for one, do love to indulge in arena. With that, he'll sort of flex some muscles, just gloating about his physique. Impressive or not, he's very into himself.
Well, I was gonna say, you must be pretty tired coming all the way out here. You're more than welcome to take one of the griffins, or ride with Riot. He's able to change forms, and so that's how we've been able to come out here. I guess every once in a while the city gets a little bit hectic, and we wanted to break free from that. Take a little bit of a break. But you have to tell us more about yourself around the bonfire. Where exactly is it that you're from? Do you have a squire? You seem very knightly.
No, I'm not quite a knight. I do not have a squire. Though, I am actually from...
Blade Garden?
Yeah, I gotta find it. There we go. I'm actually from... Thank you. How did you know this? You know all of my secrets? Oh, but that's... I don't.
I recognize the uniform.
Who would have known? I actually am from the Dwendalian Empire, a city called Blade Garden. Have you heard of it?
It's a major city there, yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of
Major,
fighting
huh?
there, though, recently. Do you fight for the Dwendalian Empire, or simply just stick to your own,
Well,
code?
not necessarily part of the army, but my father there is captain of the guard, and part of what we do at the Blade Garden is we train soldiers. Those soldiers go off to fight in whatever army, but we train the righteous brand. So that's where I grew up, in the righteous brand barracks.
Riot's going to take a good look at him and then look at Julian and be like, what do you take of Zorhassian?
So, of course, we know that there's a feud between left and right, up and down. But, despite what those... And he gets a little bit quieter, as if looking around, even though there's no way any spies would be here in the desert. Even though there's the fight going on, I myself don't care so much about the war. More so, and he gets even quieter, I just want my name to go down in history. So, and with a louder voice, you can be part of Zorhas, you can be part of the Dwendalian Empire. I don't care so much, as long as I achieve my destiny.
Well, you certainly might get along with Irvin, if we ever run into them again. Seems like you two kind of have. Sorry, he's met a while back, him and his group. Small rivalry between us. Between Fate's Fortune and the Maroon 6.
Maroon 6.
I don't know of Fate's Fortune or Maroon 6.
We are
Oh.
Fate's Fortune.
Yes.
Oh! A group name. I love it.
Linus is kind of... Go ahead.
Orion looks at me. On that note with Irvin, do you have the spell of sending or no?
No, I personally don't have that. It's something I can learn, but again, resources, money, time.
Okay. I was just curious. Maybe if we can find the money for it, then that'd be something useful.
It's definitely the best way to communicate with things halfway across the world, so it definitely has its utility.
And
Well,
what are each of your names? I believe I mentioned, but I'm happy to mention again. I am Sir Winston.
Winston or Winston?
Winston. As in Winston.
With an H.
Does Sir Winston have the
No,
Uh,
Winston.
Sir Winston?
There you
Does
go.
he have
My
the
God.
would you say, not from you, but does he have the accent of the Dwendalian Empire, or not so much?
I would say no, not so much.
Okay, that's
no,
funny.
not so much.
Well, for starters, I guess she'll reach out a hand. Tiefling before you. She'll reach out her hand. I'm Melina Saraband. I'm with the Library of the Cobalt Soul, and same here with my companion. Then allow Nia to introduce herself.
Nia would take a step forward and extend her hand as well, and being like, "I am Nia Belhime." As Melina said, I am also a member of the Cobalt Soul. I'm continuously on the search for knowledge and experiencing the different paths that the world has to offer, and to be able to write that down. To share that with as many people. Because knowledge should be shared. It shouldn't be a secret. And then would kind of like take a step back and kind of like turn her head to Riot.
With the first two, feminine, he would kneel and take your hand extended and kiss it. Pleasure to meet you, and then pleasure to meet you.
Oh, very formal.
How straight
Very
of
shocking
you.
to her. A kind gesture, nothing that she's used to, but she won't turn it down if that's how you operate.
It's just how he operates.
She'll go with it and just kind of pull her hand back and then just kind of put her over and kind of pull it close
It
to
can be
her.
awkward.
Yeah.
It could be totally awkward for sure.
Nia would just kind of look him up and down and just kind of nod and just like really thinking about it. Like, what's happening?
Fair enough. Looking towards Riot. And you, sir?
I'm Slipping Gnomes riding. I am a follower of Melora, and I'm one of her disciples in a way. And that's me. I'm just looking around and the guide for the group, I feel like, and here to see what I can find. And I really like shiny. How sparkly is your right now?
I was
How
gonna say.
The armor?
Yeah.
I think it's dark. It's nighttime, isn't it?
I imagine.
No, it's morning.
It's morning.
Oh, that we slept.
Dawn.
I imagine at the moment it would it'd be a little dusty because he had been traveling through the desert, and dust would dull it out a little bit. So you would see that it's upkept very well. However, there's a layer of kind of dust on it.
Okay.
Occasional lick of the fire still catches a bit of shiny, though, probably.
However, there is an amulet around his neck, his holy symbol, which is always polished, very shiny.
So Riot would be like pretty fucking close to him right now, saying all this, just looking at the amulet.
that amulet is literally engraved in it is just a picture of himself.
A nightly ritual. You just polish yourself. Just really maintaining the shine, huh?
Very much so. And he
Uh-huh.
holds it up.
That's my
Glorious, you must uphold glory.
Paladin
That's
oath,
my sister
oath
over
of
there.
self. Just, I'm my own god.
High grooming standards will always be maintained.
Always. Nice to meet you, Riot. I assume that Julian does his intro. We say hi. Same
No,
with
Julian does that thing that every rogue does, where he stands in the corner and just waits for him to ask. Waits for you to ask him for his backstory.
Because he's freaking rogue. He's like,
Tell
I
me
am
who you
Dark
are.
and
I was born
I
in the
am
streets.
Dark Crimson."
My parents died before I was born.
And he'll look to clandestine, and with a finger out, point at her, and then Riot, and back to clandestine. You two look a little similar.
She's my
What?
sister.
What pointed that out to you?
Mostly, I'm gonna be honest here. Again, looking around.
Do all
as
cat
if-
folks
as-
look the same to you?
again, looking around as if somebody's listening. We're in the middle of the desert. Mostly because you're both Tabaxi.
Wait, you're saying all Tabaxi are related?
I have no idea how you all come to be, but I don't know. Maybe.
No, we have tribes. We're not all brothers and sisters like us, but I mean, I've heard a rumor that Melora is the one who thought us up, and she's the one who created all the Tabaxis.
Fair enough. I
No.
learned something today.
Clandestine will point at the first orcs that she sees, like, yeah, you guys related? Related?
Speaking of felines, Nye would turn to Riot and be like, "Would you like to have the opportunity, perhaps, to see if you can connect with your new pet?" Which, by the way, did you come up with a name for it yet?
Yes, actually, Silver helped me come up with the name. She mentioned Star, and I realized that that's a really good nickname for him. I think Starlight.
There you go. Would you like the opportunity, perhaps, to see if how he's? Did we confirm if it's a girl or a boy?
It is a boy.
Boy. Did you want to see either perhaps how he's feeling, or perhaps get the opportunity to convince him to come somewhat willingly with us?
Well, during the whole morning and everything, Riot would have cast Speak with Animals and everything like that. So yeah, Riot would have been talking to him.
Really?
right. When did
And
you learn that
and-
now?
And how did that go?
Well, I'm waiting for it to see how it is. I'm just waiting for the introduction to be finished.
Okay.
So wait, so let me get this straight. We have cat folk who have a pet cat. That's adorable.
Oh, great. This is gonna be a long journey. He's one of those.
Riot's just gonna tilt his head and just ponder if there's something displaced in Sir Winston's head slightly. It's not exactly a cat. It's a displacer beast, but it's cute and adorable.
Are you guys cousins?
Poison removed.
You all look the same. You all look the same.
Wow.
That's racist.
I was literally just gonna
I
say.
mean, add a couple limbs here and there, and it's almost the same.
I'm gonna wait outside. She takes up Starlight and she makes it for
Well, sir.
for the outdoors.
Riot's just gonna look at Sir Winston and be like, so orcs are related to Goliath, right?
Not exactly, no.
You guys look like you have a lot in common.
What is this? What is this? Is this sarcasm?
Riot will look at Melina and say, what's sarcasm?
Just kind of wide-eyed and not wanting tensions to break or just turning into anything. Be like,
Zeno left the cave and just IQ becomes room temperature. Anyway, your tiny hot pops.
you know what? I could use some help with this water. If you could just
I gotta
please
go
help me.
shovel some sand. I'll be right back.
Well, Sir Winston, I'm gonna have to remind myself to always be gotta get my
Put the H before the W.
Y on.
Winston,
Winston, yeah.
Hi there.
So Winston, I definitely look forward to seeing what you can bring to the group as we move forward, and I think perhaps a simple quest like this one will be a perfect platform for you to introduce yourself better as we move on.
Happy to do so.
Naya would follow Melina out of the cave and just be like, going.
She's just gonna like go through her pack and just be like, "Oh, here you can help me track water."
Riot's Riot would like to try using his primal savagery to actually break off the limbs of the petrified creatures and then slip it into the bag of Colting.
I'm gonna say it's gonna take you a better part of like half an hour to like maybe like even an hour into the dawn rituals, which is pretty much all you occupy with yourself. As bit by bit, you manage to Frankenstein apart this sculpture and stuff it into your bag. It will, however, take up the remain. If you're storing half the bag's contents is just storing water, 250 pounds of water, it will take the remaining off your bag.
All right, then I'll put everything else that's in it back in my sack.
Okay. But you managed to, aside from a few crumbles on the nesting and the cave floor, to stuff it in your bag, no problem. By the end of the hour.
All right.
While he does that, what do everybody else do?
Well, it's not exactly how I thought we would get the hide, but sure is a way. But, Sir Winston, we have a bit of travel ahead of us. Hopefully you weren't traveling long this morning or anything. And, maybe we could try to have a quick meal or something before we go. I mean, would we be able to do that, Riot?
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
I mean, you're more than welcome to have a share of our rations of what we can have. We've taken enough water and we have means of creating our own, but we might have to stop just for safety and try to see what we could get instead of relying so heavily on it, but I guess we can kind of see where that goes.
What exactly is your means of travel? I assume the griffin's outside.
Well, the griffin's outside will be, yes, the main workhorse here. Like I said earlier, Riot himself is able to shift into a giant eagle. It's been more than helpful of, and, well,
That is
saves
most
us a bit
impressive.
of a penny. No, it quite is. We're able to push about 8 hours. Maybe we'll go a little bit more, but we still have a few days ahead of us. Try to get used to the sun, I guess.
Well, I myself traveled across dune after dune on my trusty steed outside. His name is Steven. Keep in mind, he has a little bit of an attitude, but a horse is such. I don't think that a horse could quite keep up with your griffins, though.
Griffins can
it would
certainly
be-
slow down to a horse's speed.
Yeah.
In fact,
We are trying.
they're on par with all the load you guys have. Your griffins have been traveling at a lesser speed than their full capabilities, so horse riding at full speed will catch up as long as it's unburdened. My only question about birding is, you mentioned full plate mail?
Yes, but I don't have it donned.
My question
Just
is,
carry.
where did you get it from?
What?
Well, because mechanically, when you're rolling character, you get chainmail as a paladin, right? So where'd you get full plate mail from? You certainly have starting gold. You have like gold you have acquired throughout your years and your travel and all that, but I don't think you acquire a can and a half to buy full plate mail. Just making that.
You had given me gold. You had given me gold when I was creating this character.
Right. 500 gold pieces plus the 10 times 25 gold pieces, which will be a maximum of 750, which is half of what full plate mail costs. So I'm just establishing expectations regarding that, regarding your mass traveling, regarding your armor class. You can certainly acquire plate mail at a later time, but just don't. It's not given. Yeah.
I mean, it's a level 8 character. I guess I had assumed that things would have happened, gold would have been acquired the same way any other player would have. So if that was an oversight on my part, I can subtract the plate mail.
It is just so we're on the same page here. It's your starting equipment, a whole lot of gold that you get at level 8 that you can use for whatever you want. But unfortunately, full plate mail is one of the strongest base piece of armor that can get enchanted on top of that and all that. So that's why it costs so much. Not an easy thing to acquire just by rolling character. I just wanted to make that clear. Everything else seems wonderful though. Have your horse outside, and I'll give you control over him.
I mean, okay.
It's
you can maybe do half plate, because I think half plate is like $750. I think. You could
it's his choice what he spent his gold on throughout his travels. That's why I gave you gold, as well as your magic items there. I simply did not have you start bare, empty-handed and all that, but full plate is just one of those high tier items that are not just handed off the bat.
Okay. With that said, no problem. We'll go with half plate.
If you would still like to maintain all the image that you've described, I'm all for that. We can say that maybe you have on you a bit of that full plated, but it's in a dusty, wrecked shape. It needs repairs. Some of it has fallen off, and you're carrying it. I would be like, you can probably spend half the amount required to buy full plate to repair yours. Once you find a city forge, how about that? Because otherwise,
say that again.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that for the sake of maintaining your image, right? For your paladin and his shining armor and all that, we can say that you have your ornaments and stuff, but travel has worn them down. Your armor is essentially degraded to the point of chainmail. That's for the sake of mechanics. But you can get it repaired. Come City Forge, come someplace where you can get repair armor. I'll allow you to acquire full plate at half the price because you have some of the materials on you. Essentially, upgrading your armor, if you will. That way, it doesn't cost you the full K&a-half. But at the same time, level 8 new character, I don't want to spike it with the maximum amount of armor.
Problem.
Okay.
Okay.
That works. Okay.
I'll go with half plate. No problem. I will amend the exit of Zeno, and I'm just, there's a 500 gold tip. Then, delivering this letter.
Okay. Go on. I'm gonna make your horse. Meanwhile, Stephen.
So
Is that what you called it?
Yeah.
Zeno's goggles are still in the rock then?
Yeah.
Right, well, pick those up, and who the hell's near him?
The party.
He will look at the orc. Sorry, you're gonna have to change your names so I can actually see it constantly. Sir
Winston.
Sir Winston. Sorry, I'm terrible with names. If I start screwing up, please just correct me.
Sure.
Yeah, can you put it that in Roll20 that
your username, yeah.
icons? Yeah.
It would make it a little bit easier to remember. He'll look at Sir Winston and be like, Zeno had these. It lets you see a creature really far away, and if you're on the ground and we're in the air, this might be really useful for you. I don't know really what it does because I never have worn them, but you can see really far if you focus on a creature.
We'll give them a whirl and see what they can do.
Or I'll pass it off to you.
Gladly.
And before we take flight, I'm just going to do a small ritual. I'll do that after making food for everybody and making some more treats. And I can make... Crap, what's my first name? I gotta reread that. I'll make a little more candy, so I gotta change the food quantity. And after the meal, right, we'll do the ritual, speak with animals.
And say what?
So, we'll walk up to Starlight.
Health
Sorry.
points?
I'm just gonna link it real quick.
Okay.
Some people will. I'm just trying to figure out how many I can make again. You can prepare this food for 4+. with one or more feats equal to. So I make 3, and given that Sir Winston here is looks bulky, I'll give it to Naya, Molina, and myself. So you get so you get 3 temporary health points essentially, and it lasts 8 hours.
Nice.
Or something. Yeah. And Riot will then essentially sit with Starlight in front of him, and he will essentially draw druidic symbols in front of him. None of you guys would actually be able to understand it, but in a circle around him, he will draw a druidic circle with icons and images, and then right in front of Starlight would trace out a small diagram of displacer beast. And in Druidic, he would be saying a prayer to Melora, asking her to allow him to speak to the one before him, to allow him to connect and create a friendship where one most unlikely would create in other circumstances. And after the ritual has happened, you would almost see that almost like a slight wind would blow through the cave and around Riot and then just vanish. And then just in front of everybody, it'd probably look really weird to Winston, but Riot doesn't verbally speak to Starlight. Instead, he will use his body language and shift and cock his head and make small weird yipping noises, almost in an animalistic form to speak to him. And Riot would talk to Starlight and be like, "How are you? I know last night was weird and strange, but you can now speak to me for the next little while. I would like you to come with us. I will keep you protected. I'll keep you safe. And if everything is able to, I will teach you how to hunt again. My name is Riot, and the one next to you is my sister, Silver." Go ahead.
Having imprinted upon this creature, having fed and taken care of it, it seems to be in a much more relaxed state than how it was yesterday night. From what Litfoot is able to communicate back with you, you gauge its fear of the monstrosities that came from the dark, that attacked so swiftly to the point that it seems this kitten is still coming to terms and trying to figure out exactly what happened, what has transpired. All it remembers is its mother trying to protect it, and then no longer being able to sense or scent, it having vanished into stone. And then the next thing it knew was that you found it and rescued it, having defeated the monstrosities that attacked them. From what you understand, this creature did not witness you neither flay its father nor Silver walked out of the cave with it when you started to rake apart its mother.
Yes.
It is juvenile. Its memory sort of focused on survival, food, sustenance, less so on its environment. So you have that to benefit you.
Riot would convey that he would make sure he's fed and taken care of, and would also say, "I'll turn into a big bird. Don't be scared. I have made a pouch for you to stay in, and Silver can hold you while you're on my back."
Certainly helps you in it not struggling in the process, for sure.
Perfect.
The ritual lasts for an additional 10 minutes. If you think up of any other questions in the meantime, I'm going to sort of concentrate the camera on the rest of the party here. Does anybody wish to do anything else in the cave after you partake in Riot's sustenance, gain that temporary hit points and all that stuff?
Pretty much just let him do his thing for now, but just kind of cleaning up, getting everything that we have. Supplies ready, I guess, going to the Griffins, back and forth, but checking with Bardette to see if we need to... Yeah, I mean, if she needs to, we should probably make, a run to an oasis or a water source along the way. Just stock up, that way Riot doesn't have to be, so heavy with spells, and we protect ourselves, stuff with that.
Fair enough. You find archaeologist Lilith Bardette by your Griffins. who seems the Griffins seem to have returned from their nightly hunt. You see Beans and Achilles fought over what looks to be a half-eaten hyena carcass. Bardette turns to you and says, "We made a good head start and have about 130 miles remaining to our destination. I've charted our route for the day. If we leave now, we should arrive at a mesquite grove fit for night camp. We can resupply on provisions there and continue our last leg of the journey come dawn." And with bandaged hands, you can see she secures the straps of her mount's saddle and mounts up, ready to leave when you are.
Well, I'll inform the others. What kind of grove did you say it was?
Mesquite is a type of a tree that grows in the desert.
Mesquite Grove?
Mesquite. It's a tree with like
Oh,
edible
right
edible little fruits on it, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Right.
Don't need a nature check to
Alright.
know what a mesquite is, but if you never seen one, then it's like one of these. Images just won't load for me for some reason.
I can't remember, but has Bardette made this journey
There
like
it is.
multiple times, or is it just like a few or none?
You never ask, but if you ask, she will tell you
That's what I would
that she has made expeditions before throughout the desert, working for the Allegiance, and she has seen this route before from her skyship when she first arrived or made her journey to Ankarel.
Okay.
I know my wares about. I've noted a few points of interest that I would like to stop by. Presumably about 30 miles north west of here is a particular point of interest I would like to visit. But you'll see.
Is there anything unique or anything you want to share, or?
It is a place where I stashed previous supplies that would aid us on our journey. And maybe you'll find something interesting there.
Yeah, I mean, whatever will help with the journey. I mean, we don't want to run out. But if you don't mind, and over this time, just to hurry so someone else can speak, would I be able to look at her chart? So just in case, and I would make this known to be like, if anything was to happen to you, Bardette, like, we want to have backups, like, you know, write on a map and double check, and like all the land features and everything that we would, if anything was to happen to you, you know, we would be able to survive still, not get lost.
Right.
Just copy notes, and that's pretty much it.
So she gives you a good look at her map here. You guys are about a third of way to your destination by her charting. You did make a good head start with just sort of pushing March last night, which has probably cut maybe like half a day's journey for you, more or less, depending on your future pace. But at any rate, you can see about, as she said, about 30 miles up ahead is what she marked as the wreck of the sand grouse. The sand grouse seeming to be some sort of a ship or a vessel.
And that's near the groove?
That's halfway to it, yes.
Okay.
It's somewhere that she has spotted to sort of stop and resupply and provisions and recover something that she has stashed there last time she was there.
Wrecked of the sand mouse.
Wreck of the sand grouse.
Sand grouse, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I would be writing all this down, kind of looking at the map from what we have, charting it, writing notes. Oh no, we can't see it.
Perfect.
Oh, I totally spelled this wrong. Oh no, I did.
I did not. I read it right for once.
Sand grouse is
okay.
a desert bird.
I have that then.
Okay.
Backups.
You can feel free to, there's no rush in this conversation, you can feel free to ask her any questions
Yeah.
you might want, especially since, to be honest, you guys didn't get a chance to really talk to her much. She has kept to mostly herself, just kind of sort of leading this expedition.
We gonna run into sandworms? Do they have like territory out here?
That is what the Griffins is for sandworms. Not a flying specimen as far as I know. And she shivers a little bit just thinking about flying sandworms.
That'd be awful. I'd cry.
Bad
Hi,
news.
pass by on that sandworm.
Nightmares.
Hopefully, if we do run into a sandworm, we do have experience with them, so hopefully we can put that experience to use if need be. But let's cross our fingers and hope it doesn't come to that.
Well, nothing I'm willing to bet my life on. Barely made it out of that alive.
True.
She essentially gives you the answer of like it's not unheard of that they're here. They're like an alternative species to the Grohasian kind, more armored and smaller in size and more sort of agile. But flying by air should suffice as a means of avoiding them, and the horse can serve as bait.
The horse can serve as bait. Poor Steven.
I'm just imagining Steve and Winston running on the ground like this, and all of a sudden a sandworm coming up and just swallowing them.
No, not Steven.
Thanks for giving me ideas.
Our second Gaz.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bardat still, the three Kreen, do they tend to frequent the land along the travel path, and are they welcoming, or do they tend to stay secluded and want their own privacy?
People vary, but most are welcoming. Traders in a bunch. They tend to make nomadic camps here and there and stop by the capitals and the various cities. Some journey to the far reaches of Shandol, others journey toward the woods to the north, the remaining jungles of Marquette to mostly trade. But again, individuals vary, and we should err on the side of caution.
Okay.
We should stick to our sights and our goals and not get too distracted. And speaking of which, and she sort of already mounts up like, I'm ready to head out when you are. We're losing sunlight.
Speaking of sunlight, what is the weather forecast for today?
She scans the horizon and the coast seems clear. The sun blazes down upon you guys. It's a cloudless day. It doesn't seem like there's any obscurement on the horizon, any dust clouds that might be sandstorms, so it seems clear for now. She doesn't have any more means than that to tell the weather, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fine.
If only we had a druid party or something.
Yeah, druid. Nia would approach Ares and start looking over, taking her intensive training to heart and looking over his tack and making sure that he's ready for the day's voyage.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Anything else before continuing our journey forward?
So, yes, what Zeno had gone, would I be riding on a griffin? And Steven just, I don't know, trying to keep up?
You're asking me?
I'm asking the group, not you.
All right.
Well, how heavy? So she would kind of look back at Winston and just be like, so, you're a rather large fellow. How many stones do you weigh? Stones.
16 boulders.
Yo.
Pure muscle.
He points to a bunch of rocks. That many over there. No. I'd say with... Here, let me tell you. I'll tell you a real number.
You don't actually have to give it to me in stones. I was trying to be funny.
I know. I'm not gonna. I'd say with his own body weight and the equipment on him. Oh goodness, you're looking at.
Yeah.
460.
Wow, boy.
So, I think you might be better off on your pony.
To Steven it is!
If anything happens from above, we'll try to swoop down and help out. Hopefully no sandworms will be there.
Just do a Dune thing and trot at an irregular pace.
Did I hear right? Did you say you're 460 stones?
Stones. Stones would be insane.
Pure muscle, pure
Right.
testosterone.
Riot's like, you're not getting on my back. I don't want to be broken for this journey. You can ride Steven.
Alright, I removed the right items for inventory to get a better number. We're looking at, I'm rounding up, to be fair. We're looking at 400. We are looking at 400 pounds.
You're still not getting on my back.
That's body weight plus equipment.
I'm going with equipment. Since you have some pretty heavy equipment, I'm guessing, as a paladin. I'm going with your character probably weighs somewhere around the 300 to 330 mark, if I had to guess.
About 230. No.
230? Okay. You have some
230. I'm
equipment.
lean and fit and strong.
It's also 6'5" and just pure muscle for an orc.
Heavy ass equipment. How do you have 170 pounds of equipment?
Half
I
plate.
can carry so much weight.
Half plate is a lot of weight.
You have no idea how much I can lift.
I mean,
He only has like 90 pounds of stuff.
He
Yeah.
probably could. He probably could lift the
Like
Griffin,
you
if he wanted
gauge this
to.
orc, he looks like he's ready to fight like a fucking Goliath gladiator or some shit. He has 2 weapons, 2 giant ass swords, a full half plate armor set, a shield. All that really is a lot of metal weight. Yeah.
Just verifying. Full orc, like full-blooded orc, or half orc?
full.
Full blood. Okay, just making sure.
Which-
Wrote it down.
Which I want to point out is a little odd, because he's not aggressive in any means. You know, typically orcs have a more aggressive nature. He seems super cheerful, oddly cheerful.
You see the catfolk in your midst, not Riot, but the other one, extend out a little like smoking pipe towards you and just be like, Sood?
No, thank you. I do
Oh,
not.
not that cheerful then. It just mounts up.
I cannot desecrate my body with such substances.
Ooh.
Right, we'll take a puff.
Do you take a puff?
Right, we'll take a puff.
Make me a Constitution saving throw.
It is. Where's friggin' con save?
Natural
Natural
20.
20.
Well.
Whoop-de-doo!
Okay, so take
So
40.
this is good.
Take 40-10 psychic damage.
4d10.
40-10 psychic damage. And as you try and retain most of it, you feel a headache begin to work up and a pressure build up on your head, and then a very sudden euphoric release of the said headache. Your world seems to move as if in slow motion, as if underwater, your vision twisting in these awesome kaleidoscopic colors, yet your focus is never distorted. You're very much in the moment. Your aches from last night alleviated, your muscles relaxing, and at the same time, your eyes paying more attention to the small, intricate details of the people around you, the little beauties in them. And suddenly everything is so fucking interesting. The plants, the little grains of sand shining in the sun, it's just so ooh. As you go through this sort of sensation, you gain the ability to use one meta magic option as a sorcerer for the next hour, essentially. For all the good guys you just know that you can use.
As we go.
You know what the twin spell meta magic option does?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever you are casting a spell that targets only one creature and doesn't have a range of stealth, you can like use the suit's ability to split that spell and connect with your inner spell mind to split that into an additional target.
Oh, so this is blue suit.
Blue suit, yes.
Okay.
But you
Were
still take the
you-
damage, yeah.
Were you are within 10 feet of Winston. So give yourself +3 to that roll that you already got a natural 20 on.
It's a success, but sure, you can go ahead and give yourself a 27 on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to the effect that
Yeah.
you feel so much better in my glorious presence.
Would I take half damage?
Yeah. Yeah. All you
Rain
want.
chaos. Let chaos reign. Let's see. Would I take half damage from that because I succeeded the roll?
No, that is half damage, my guy.
20 is half damage?
Yeah.
So I would have taken 40 if I failed?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Sued. You might grow accustomed to it. It's all about, this is the first time you've tried it in like perhaps months. But for whatever it's worth, you can think creatively how this will help you. You have one chart of twin spell while this high lasts. And throughout all of this, in what I imagine you'll be taking your eagle form and driving high. Anybody wishes to do anything else before we continue our journey?
This is going to be the most glorious flight for Ryan.
Fair enough.
Naya just kind of looks at Riot and Silver and kind of lets out a little giggle, and it just kind of gives her a mental note, just being like, if battle ensues, check on Riot.
Hilariously, Ryan could cure himself if he really wanted to.
High as shit. How are you not going to crash into a rock or straight into the ground?
You know what? Flight is just like an extension of like riding a bike for Riot.
Yeah.
Only Silver's riding on Riot, so she's the only one who has to deal with them.
I mean, she trusts him enough. Her and Starlight. To be fair, you're not like inebriated or incapacitated in certain way. You still have focus. Just your perception of the world is maybe a little bit as if you're like swimming underwater as you're proceeding through the dunes. As I'm guessing we can take off at this point, right? Keep on traveling.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just imagining it's like being high on weed.
I've never been on high on weed, so I cannot even tell you confirmation.
Tell me about all your drug experiences, Will.
Yeah.
Tell me.
As you continue your airborne travel across the desert dunes, who's ahead of the group? Who's sort of keeping watch along with Bardet?
Riot.
Yeah.
I have advantage with the eagle form.
All right. The pack of you continue onwards. Riot and Bardet pointed out first, and the rest of you sort of see it as well. You, Riot, note a peculiar sight. It's as if the sand is like moving in like waves with these puffs of smoke and then like back into itself. Like an eel traveling through, and it's trippy, it's awesome. And then you realize that the eel splits into 5 smaller eels. And the rest of the group sort of begins to realize what this actually is. You see a pack of creatures burrow through the sands, leaping in and out of sight like dolphins in the ocean. You count at least a half dozen of these gray, smooth back creatures. They appear to be quite large. A bizarre cross between like an armadillo and a snapping turtle. Their bodies are covered in these thick layered plates, and their heads are bullet-shaped, similar to that of like a shark with like massive mouths. And this pack of like lion sharks just continue to swim through the sands as your mounts swiftly overtake them, airborne, fly onwards, and the horse, again, I'm guessing you're going to have him just, like, take a wide berth or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Riot's going to swoop down and just, like, get low to the ground and be like, ah! And just, like, swoop off in the direction that he's supposed to. And hopefully Winston will actually take that and just make Steve go the right way.
Hmm. Trying to shepherd the horse away from these creatures. Hours of more travel come to pass as you follow Bardet. In the distant northern horizon, the rest of you see a mountain range peaks over the dunes, like faded in shades of pink, orange at the distance. Below, the landscape shifts to that akin to, this is trippy for Riot, like a sun-bleached ocean bottom. You see tall pillars of stone rise from the sands, encrusted in pale, dried coral-like growth. Patches of cacti bloom at their bases, some growing tall like strands of kelp. It's bizarre. Sort of like a reference. I'm just post a little fun little image here in chat of what you guys see, sort of. You see Bardette swoop her mount close to the rest of you, and she advises making a landing to rest and partake in water. She passes you like a looking glass and points out what looks to be a shipwreck ahead. We can find shade there. Give our legs a rest before we develop saddle sores.
How is it that a ship made it all the way out here? It used to be a natural water source out here, just not any longer?
Skyship crash.
Oh. Makes sense. Well, how'd that happen? You know?
Yeah. Storm. And that's all she says. She says
Did
it.
she say it like...
She says it and like she like caresses the bandages on her hands.
I want to insight check that to see if she was the one who was there, or
Sure.
if she's kind of playing coy a little bit. I am on normal because I rested.
20? You can certainly tell that she has witnessed this event, either on the ship itself or off on dunes. She's familiar with what transpired here, and from how she phrases it, a storm did take the ship apart. But you're more than welcome to take a closer look as I load the map.
As we're coming to land between the columns, you just, the group would literally just see Riot doing like the little Star Wars maneuver, going zoom, like going between them, doing like a little loop-de-doops around them.
Yeah, 5 seconds before your spell is about to expire.
And then it comes down to land, and as they expire, just like land.
Mm-hmm. For the sake of this, I'm gonna have the griffins sort of find rest among the cliffs. The horse, your mount there, Sir Winston. If you want, I can have him next to you. Here's Steven, and you should be able to control him since he's in your mount. Do you guys want the griffins on the map? I don't mind. I just need to know if you guys don't want to overcrowd the map. I won't put them on.
I don't think so. They could just like perch up above and just chill.
Yeah, you guys just let them be griffins for a while. They're certainly keeping an eye on you, contending with a few vultures, quite large ones, like a 10-foot wingspan vultures, over some carcass or another, partaking in it. Julian's with you guys in spirit. As you guys land, this is the old Sky Shipwreck. I pre-rolled locations, by the way, but yeah. You arrive at the site of an old Sky Shipwreck amid a valley of cacti, pear plants, and stone. An abandoned large vessel lies in the sand, tilted on its side. You can see rickety scaffolding secured to its aft and front creak in the wind. There's evidence of long extinguished campfires throughout, likely left here by those who came before you. The hollowed out bowels of the ship are visible slightly through these large cracks in the hull, allowing one to like sort of squeeze and enter within the shell and shelter of the shade within. The ship's edifice is crawling with wildlife. You can see like a few dozen scorpions and other desert fauna crawl about its edifice, and a few vultures perch upon the branches of dried trees nearby. Bardette looks up at her map, and pointing at a circled landmark, she sort of says, "This is it. The wreck of the Sungrouse. We're making good time. At our pace, we should arrive at our next stop a few hours before sundown. This ship used to be an Alpharan trading vessel before its demise. It has been disassembled by the Union, but even though it gave up the ghost, it still serves as a shelter, and if we're lucky, there are a few emergency provisions stashed away here by other travelers who passed here before us. Plenty of roving nomads and the like, and bandits are known to stop here from time to time. The site appears abandoned to you guys." She says, "I'll search up ahead, see what I can find. Rest up, quench your thirst. We best not stay here for long, though." We leave in 1 hour's time.
May I ask, why should we not stay here too long? Is there danger afoot?
We're not the only ones who know about this place. She again recaps sort of this place is used by both travelers and bandits of the desert alike to sort of act as a stashing point or a meeting point. It is a landmark spotted from afar, after all. So she doesn't want to get caught in the middle of some shady bandit meetup or an ambush or something like that. That's her
Not
insight.
I shall protect you.
My hero.
Riot looks at the group and be like, let's see what we can find. It'd be fun. Look at Silver. Ready to go investigate some fun stuff?
We best stick together. I don't like this place. It's too quiet.
It does seem a little eerie. If other people know about this, we need to be safe. Maybe we can have
Right.
a lookout or something.
Riot's gonna sniff the air and see if you can smell anybody else's scents beside theirs in the area. If there's any smell coming through besides just the ship and the rotten wood and sails. Or not sails, but
Sure, go for it. Go for it.
perception.
Yep. What are the rest of you guys are doing?
Oh, natural 1-9.
Natural 199, you can smell the dryness of dust and sand throughout. And there's a weird smell coming from one of the campfires. It is as if somebody has threw something into the fire that made it smell like burnt sulfur. Guys, don't just walk around the map. Talk to me. What are you guys doing? I'm not gonna do anything if you guys don't talk to me. You know, like doesn't matter where you guys are going.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, walking around the ship and everything, is there any visible damage to know, like, how this thing came to be, like, why it fell out of the sky?
Dope. Roll me investigation.
Investigation.
Man, even without the API, Riot's token lags the fuck out. 24 investigation, eh? Investigating the ship's hull, Melina, you note a lengthy, like, scorch mark that scars its starboard side. Port, where you're standing there. As if the wood was, like, struck by lightning. You can see, like, the branching of the scorch. Most of the wood is sun-bleached and brittle with decay. With a 24 investigation, you can tell that that's, like a gauge of how long ago this has been lying here for. Months, by the looks of it. Not a year, because it would have really decayed off. But you do note the ironwork shows evidence of rust, despite a lack of rain in these desert badlands. Strewn about the ship and upon rickety scaffolding throughout are these boxes, within which you find like an area of what looks to be stashed goods, half buried in the sand and straw.
But you had also said earlier, just previously, you had said there's a smell of sulfur or like a burned good too.
Yes. There's a smell of somebody burned sulfur within one of the campfires.
Oh, okay.
Like a recently snuffed out fire, or something was burnt in the fire.
You check the coals, they're not any hotter than the sands around it, and they're not burning either, they're not smoking up, but the smell lingers, the alchemical-like smell lingers.
Well, either they were transporting something... Oh, well, I should say this. There's no, like, giant rips in the hull, right? Then I would be able to say, like, an explosion. This may seem like it's more of...
With a 24 investigation, you can tell that no further damage was done to the ship, other than the lightning strike and just general weathering and decay. No, like, splintering of wood or scorch marks, like, it burnt. You would imagine, like, setting fire to the ship would burn it all to crisp. It's sun-bleached and dry. Good firewood.
And looking at Bardet, this seems to be sort of a stop in the desert. Tell me, how many times have you been to this place?
This is the first time I've returned to it in a long time. And you see Bardet goes to scrounge through some of the boxes nearby. Like, give a shit.
Were you here the last time? The last time this was when we talked about this, and you gave me the eyepiece. You had clenched your wrist. Seems like there's a harsh memory here. Were you actually here, or maybe lose someone?
I think we all pay a price for our respective destinies, and I was aboard this ship when it went down. There were casualties, but I survived, and I lived on to do greater things, so I should be thankful there.
I can't imagine what that's like to go through, to be completely stranded here. How did you make it out?
By the graces of Avandra, I suppose. Black was on my side, and eventually I found my way back to Ankarel. The desert tests us all and makes hardy folk out of the living and, well, bleach corpses out of those not so lucky. I was lucky.
I'm gonna half believe that.
Sure.
Same bag. Oh, God saved me. Like, okay.
Working for the Allegiance is rewarding, but has its risks. There are plenty of powerful, dangerous beings in the desert. These should lift up our hands. This is a mark left by the desert upon me. Sometimes one must pay for a price for a dream.
Do you remember?
Would
Go ahead.
No, go on, Nick.
I was just gonna ask, do you remember seeing what it was? Like a strike of lightning? Was it just random, or was there a storm, or was it something magical?
A storm.
Maybe a flying beast. Okay.
Out of nowhere. A mighty one at that. Glorious to behold. An arcing bolt of lightning struck the ship, destroyed one of its crystals, and went down. It happened in a flash.
Well, I pray that we don't run into such a thing again. Us being smaller targets will have our advantage, but I don't want to be zapped out of the sky just yet. I guess let's keep scrounging. And Nia, what did you have?
Nia would nod at the conversation and be like, whether it be deserts like this or mountains like my homeland, whenever those two seem to see extreme weather patterns as the air rises and lowers across these plains or mountain ranges. And then with that, she would kind of continue on and go to the bow of the ship. Kind of curious at this outcropping of additional things. And kind of like tiptoe onto plank bridge thickened looking thing. And kind of just like test the weight bearing capabilities of it.
Do you put your full weight on it? Just test it out?
Well, she's kind of like at the edge, and she'll kind of like reach her foot forward by keeping her balance on the bow, just be like kind of giving it little taps kind of thing.
One moment. It seems to have been secured well enough with sturdy nail work and ropes and such to be secure enough, though looks much more rickety than it is. Enough to support your full weight.
With that, Naya would venture out onto it and kind of see, and like, does this go down to the ground, or is this like all elevated over here?
It's elevated about 10 feet to the ground, above the ground below it. This being 10 feet below.
Okay. So Naya would, in a combination of walking past and maybe giving a leap over to this area over here to kind of like take a look and investigate through the different boxes and whatnot for any provisions or weapons or items.
Roll me an investigation as you're trying to search throughout there. Meanwhile, the rest of the party, what are you guys doing?
Is there a hole or anything to go inside the ship?
There are several large cracks on the side of the ship that you're standing on, where it has sort of lifted above the sands. You're standing, there's maybe 5 feet of the ship exposed. The rest of the sand sort of sitting above the ship. So, in other words, the ship is leaning toward you right now. It's leaning toward its port side, and the starboard side, the right side, is lifted up with where probably if it has any cannons, you'll have like portholes exposed to the air.
It was
Riot's gonna call up, be like, "We're gonna go look inside the ship."
Okay, so you like duck into that 5-foot squeeze, and arrive at what will be like the first floor of below the deck, and you find a lot of the boxes have been either broken into, or things have been cleared off the shelf, and only like dusty, empty jars remain. You go ahead and roll me an investigation check if you want to search for any booty below deck as well.
Get advantage with silver helping.
24.
Sure.
I do want to do some when the time's right.
Yeah, so Nia is investigating on that side of the ship, you're investigating below deck with advantage with your sister helping you. What does Winston wish to do?
Winston!
Aside from creak the bow the ship flooring inwards with every step.
Upon stepping on these rickety boards, I would like to divine sense something seems odd about this ship. Divine sense. I threw it in chat.
What did it do?
Basically, strong evil, register your senses. There you go.
Yeah, so sort of tapping into first the sense of the celestial and the good seems rather neutral, and then you're trying to tap into the more perhaps an undead resonance, the defiled part, to see if any of the ghosts of the ship still haunt it. And thankfully, you do not detect any of that presence near you, within sight of you, meaning that perhaps when this wreck has happened a few weeks or months ago, the Union has located it and saw to it that those who perished here were put to rest and actually ushered to the next plane rather than be left here to rot with unfinished business to haunt this place forever. So you're, with 100% certainty, with your general vicinity, can not detect fiends or undead or celestials.
Good. I feel better. Was it Riot? You went a deck below?
Yeah.
I shall follow.
Okay. So I'll have the three of you. You're somewhere below deck here. You can actually see, because sand does not cover it, you can actually see an opening above your heads, where the ceiling sort of forms an iron cage. That you also note that some parts of the iron have rusted away. There's no rain. There's no evidence of any water puddles or anything, but some of the cages rusted away to reveal the skybox above you, which provides some natural light in this dark, gloomy surrounding. So, starting with Nia then, with your investigation check. Nia, you find what looks to be like a crate containing a functional bullseye lantern stashed amid some dry straw with these 2 clay flasks of oil. While the lantern itself seems to have also rusted, and a medium chunk of it is sort of missing from the base. It itself is functional, and the glass is still, with a slight crack, still functional enough to keep the wind away from this bullseye lantern to serve its purpose as a light source. Rolling so high, 24, you find a second object, curiosity there. A tiny bronze sundial, probably would fit on your wrist with a strap, that helps one tell the time of day during daylight hours. You see a pair of letters embossed on the underside of it, LB.
Cool. Following her finds amongst the boxes, she would get really curious at the flowers and would climbing up here and investigate these kind of like cacti looking hibiscus type perhaps flowers. Not sure.
Leaving your found stuff in the boxes, right?
No, she'd take them.
Okay.
Take them with her.
The hibiscus flowers. Roll me nature. And I'll come back to you. Right, and your little posse there, with the help of the paladin and clandestine. I'm going to take your highest roll there, 16.
17 with their guidance.
Sure. How about 15? below 20. You find first you find what looked to be the ship's pantry has been ransacked. Most useful things have been taken. There's no water, no rations. You do find something that was just sort of left abandoned, either by people just not having the taste for it or thinking it's wrong. A pouch full of what looks to be spiced. It smells like spiced, dried out locust carcasses that you might be able to use in your more exotic cooking. They are very potent. Like the spice, you open a pouch and you can smell a spice. So people just thought they got into spice and there's a whole bunch of dead bugs here, so they just sort of left it behind there.
Just like Grandma used to use.
Right, and then you hear Silver just go, now this is more like it. And you hear a loud bang as she just, with her dagger, snaps apart a lock barring a door and pushes it to reveal what looked to be the aft captain's quarters. Upon the wall, which sends her in awe, is this large wind fan, like a Japanese-style wind fan on the wall, ornamental, that is hung open. It's maybe 36 inches wide, so that's 3 feet span. Quite large fan. And it features a depiction of this flaming bird. Wings sprawl outwards.
Oh. Is there anything else in there?
I want to give the paladin a chance to roll.
Okay.
Yeah, does that recognize any... Is that recognizable? I'm also looking up what I thought it might be.
Sorry?
Is that recognizable, that flaming bird?
It's a flaming bird. Could be a depiction of a very common creature you would know as to be a phoenix or something along the lines of, or maybe it's just artist's freedom, but that's what it looks like. It's just this bird whose feathers are light in flames, and whose plume is out of these bright shades of orange and sunrise. It's beautiful. Do you asked me if you find anything? Because Clandestine helped Riot and they found those things, I'll give you a roll just to see if you find anything else, because 6 hands is better than 4. So go ahead and give me an investigation roll if you want.
I got 2 hands. I can help.
And you have dark vision, right, as a full orc?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah, so with the natural light seeping in, it's most of this chamber is illuminated for you to search here and there. Amid the lots of sand. I'm just waiting for that roll of yours.
Oh, investigation. Yeah.
Yeah, investigation.
I was trying to see if... Sorry, I was trying to see if it had anything to do with the righteous band.
Brand? No. The righteous brand crest does not
crest.
feature a phoenix.
Okay. You're right on what I was thinking. All right, perfect. It's not that. Perfect.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not in your head. I don't know what you're asking sometimes. So, although I can see the resemblance because the Righteous Brand, essentially their uniform features the owl of the Empire. Which do you have that symbol on any of your armor? Do you still wear your uniform?
Here, I threw my investigation.
Up to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'd say yes. Yes. Why not? Why not embrace my heritage?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that crest is in the centerpiece of
your breastplate. Okay. Yeah, nice. So there are similarities with the owl holding the 2 pieces of what do you call that plant? Wheat, right?
Wheat.
And the crown of the emperor. Some similarities are there, but it's clearly like your crest is an owl, and this one is more like a raptor type bird, like a falcon or something.
Got it.
With an 8 investigation, they seem to have found most interesting stuff. This place has been ransacked. You find a whole bunch of not so useless sand, if you can use sand. It's very fine. It has its uses. Yeah. But that's what you find. Also, I would like to note that if you put the symbol of the Empire on your breastplate and you put it all in black, it looks like the Emperor's symbol from Warhammer.
Fuck yeah! Emperor, protect!
Die for
By the way,
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
if Naya hits the sand with her lightning breath, can she make crystals?
You can make glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and by the way, Rush's brand uniform, just in case anybody wonders.
Is there any
Yeah.
secret, like, so normally in captain's quarters, there's like a little hidden area underneath the desk or a
Mhm.
side or something. With Riot walking around just stamping, he's like looking for a hollow sound that will like come up, like a little hidden area.
So, like stomping
Like-
your feet?
Yeah.
It's hollow beneath your feet because there's a second deck below you that's hollow. It's not so much a compartment, it's like an entire floor. So you are definitely walking on maybe not even a quarter foot of wood.
Oh, okay.
That's somehow holding your... supported by the nails of the ship, it somehow still holds your balance and all that. I just want to shift the attention toward Nick's character real quick, because Melina's been quiet for the past 20 minutes. Does Melina do anything in the whole meantime while?
No, just in the meantime, she's just going to be help Bardet just looking for supplies up top and then just kind of inquiring about, you know, the things out here. Like, if it's a freak storm that came out of nowhere, it seems she's just putting kind of like 2 and 2 together, just kind of like investigating in her own, talking to herself a little bit in her mind. You know, if it's a magical source, then I don't personally know of anything out here. It could be a blue dragon, but it doesn't seem fitting. Wouldn't be a white one.
So,
So she's kinda
sort
putting
of
everything together.
surfing on the insight roll, your high insight, because same conversation essentially. You can tell that she doesn't like talking about it. It's either traumatic or she just doesn't want to talk about it. But from the details that she gives off, you're asking, like, was it sudden? She's like, it was. The captain of the ship did not predict it. And by the time we did countermeasures to circumvent it, it already hit us, right? So it sounded like it happened very quickly, and down the ship because of that, they couldn't like maneuver around it. When you mention things like blue dragons, she doesn't dismiss the theory, sort of even commending you on a good sound theory, but she cannot confirm anything because she didn't see anything of it, like here and everything. Like it was just thunder and storm. She's not sure if this is a natural phenomenon or like an eldritch storm or caused by a creature or the anger of the gods. It could have been any of those things from what she witnessed. Yes.
Well,
yes.
looking at kind of like body language and kind of maybe throwing a little bit of like a curveball out there, she kind of brings up the fact of like, Burdette, do you think it's possible that this was a setup? That somehow the crew was betrayed? And then judging her reactions, ish, but then generally wanting to hear if she may, you know, been like, oh, well, someone was acting, you know, iffy or something that day. You never know.
She takes a pause from what her most of her concentration is in trying to find an item throughout these boxes, and she goes more and more frustrated as the conversation goes on because she can't find it. So she takes a moment to like focus away from that and thinks, no, none of the crew seemed suspicious, and this was not the work of some spellcaster summoning a ritual. We of the Allegiance, we work with the Crystal Chateau, so I've seen what spellcaster can do, and this was well above anything that they teach in the Crystal Chateau. So I truly doubt it was any spellcaster from it or any such betrayer, but at the same time I don't want to dismiss anything. It's all possible. But anyways, she then switches immediately to not want to talk about it. Like, dwelling in the past does not change it, and she seemed to have lost friends here, and she just wants to focus away from what seems to be a very unpleasant memory to think about, or just something she doesn't want
Yeah, that's
to discuss.
fair.
Yeah.
All right, she's taking it into all account and everything. But you said that she's looking for something, like not just water and supplies, but she looks like she's seeming to try and find something specific. I want to ask her, what is it that you're looking for? Maybe I can.
A navigatory tool, a thing of a circle of bronze to tell the time. I've seemed to have misplaced it. Forgot to pick it up last time I was here.
Yeah, having a description of it, I'll try to help her find it, and then whatever secures a good path for us.
She describes it as a little medallion with like a little notch that comes out of it to sort of cast a shadow that relative to the sun. And the more she discusses it, the more you realize that she's just talking about, oh, it's a sundial. Up to you whether or not your character knows what a sundial is, but I would imagine
No,
that
I know.
your character would most likely. I just didn't want to assume. Yeah.
You're so dumb.
No. I was just thinking. I was just like, oh, one of us found a sundial, but then again, she's way on the other side. Never mind.
Well,
Well, no, well, I guess I'll ask around. Just be like, hey, Nia, did you find anything?
Nia's dead.
Just nothing.
She's gone.
Really not wanting to shout. Let me just double check that thingy.
By the way, rolling a 6 nature check on those cacti, they're pretty flowers, but you don't recognize them.
Okay.
It's not hibiscus because it grows on the cactus, and that's not what hibiscus does. You see the flowering bodies do possess little tiny pear-shaped red fruits with like prickles upon them. The entire plant has prickles upon it. Even the flower petals have prickles upon them.
I'm not used to using a laptop.
Well, you can communicate with what you're doing. Yeah.
Yes. Really not wanting to shout and risk, like, as she's on higher ground than the rest of the people, she's not wanting to risk that. She kind of just, from the top of the stone she's down, she kind of just points at Melina and casts message to be like, I did find some stuff. I found a lantern with some oil, and I found this really kind of interesting bronze sundial. And then just kind of puts her hand down.
You can approach this message.
Bardet. I would turn to Bardet and just be like, well, I guess one of the other investigators found it.
Ah, good.
What exactly were you guys transporting here anyway? I know sometimes the allegiance can be hush-hush, but anything we should be aware of, or something that the bandits possibly or anyone would want to ransack through this? Maybe we can try and find
we
it.
were traveling from Gerard, a city to the north here. A short excavation mission that lasted a few days and then return. I do believe the Alpha Union recovered everything precious, bodies and cargo alike. Maybe a few straggling pieces here and there, but the most important artifacts were returned to the Crystal Chateau.
Well, that's good then. At least we recovered everything. Last thing we need out here is a band of roving marauders using magical items to, well, get unsuspecting travelers. Hopefully not us. But looking to the sky and just kind of looking around, hearing what Bardet said, just looking to see. I'm assuming it still looks sunny. Nothing's on the horizon, per se.
No.
Okay.
Well, you are surrounded by what looks to be like a valley of rock, so you don't quite see the full horizon, but from what you can see between the cliffs, looks clear.
All right. I'm going to check in with the others. See, maybe they found something down below. And she'll make her way across. She'll come to the top where the, I guess, like, the iron is. Is that enough to, like, kind of, like, slip through, like, a little monkey style? Or do you... Okay, just make sure.
it's a square set of, like, crossing bars, right?
Yeah.
And maybe the space between them is maybe, like, 2 inches each square.
Oh, never mind.
There are some rusted spots, though, that you feel like if you just, like, stepped on or, like, somehow pressed on, you'll be able to, like, break. With a feat of strength, of course, but... Or spell work.
Yeah. Not my forte, and I don't want to cause any more damage or possibly start this ship on fire.
Don't do that.
Yeah, are you sure? You guys don't like it down?
We don't like bonfires. That was Xeno's thing.
Yeah.
Bonfires are gone.
I'm gonna
deal with it.
I'll start walking around, and then I'll start heading my way to the bottom where everyone else made their entrance at.
Okay, cool. So Bardet will steadily make the 120, 110 foot sort of ascent up to Nia to see what she found, and if she presents forth the sundial, she'll be more than glad to take that, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. She would present it and be like, "This is what I found. It's such a cute little trinket and very interesting." LB, I wonder who LB was.
Me.
LB?
You?
Layla Bardet. It's a heirloom.
Oh, wow. Would you mind telling me more about it? You said it's an heirloom. Does it belong to someone in your family?
Something like that. Belonged to my father's side. Passed through generations before that. All I know is that it's my responsibility not to lose it. I'm glad you found it. Thank you.
I'm so happy that I could return this to you, and I hope it will be lucky and help us on our journey. Now that we have such a precious item back to your care.
Some treasures.
That was the lantern?
Sundial.
It was the sundial.
Sundial. Got it. Okay.
Some treasures, small in size, are precious nonetheless. Remember that. And she checks the time. She's like, doesn't seem happy with the result of checking time.
Would you like to climb up higher with me to keep a lookout?
Sure. Lookout. Yeah. Sure. You can stick with Bardet. She was keen to rejoin the rest of the group, but if you want to see if there's anything else to find, go for it. She'll stick with you.
Or more. Sorry. Nye would kind of just, knowing that we've been here a little bit, kind of just wants to double check that. So she would try and find amongst these rock cliffs, like the highest point she could climb to, and get a vantage point to see if she could perceive anything coming.
Okay, so first of all, roll me athletics check to try and climb the higher rocks, the more sheer cliffs that are fit for goats than Dragonborn.
Of course.
But you need hooves.
Okay, cool. So you make it maybe an additional 10 feet ascendance more before the rock face just becomes real vertical, real fast, to the point where you suspect that one slip and you'll be tumbling what looks to be 25 feet down below to more smaller rocks, which will probably not be a good, but you make it about, you're sitting about 25 feet above the ship. Lily just stands there by the cactus I'm good. I'm good from here.
She's like, I'm more dexterous than strong. From this point, she takes a look around to see if she can perceive anything coming their way.
Coming your way? Sure. Roll me a perception check, and I'll turn the camera to the rest of the party to just see what they're up to. What's going on in this neck of the woods?
Well, Riot's just going to keep on investigating the ship because this is a lot of fun. He would just go as deep as he can looking for stuff. But before that, you look at Silver and be like, Silver, you should take that fan that you wanted that to come out and find a fan for. Oh,
she already has. She's already tearing it off the wall, gingerly, already closing it and dragging it behind her, the sword of Pyramid Head sort of style, just dragging it behind her. This 3-foot long fan, and presents it for the paladin. Just check this out.
While that's all happening, I am going to look to the two of you. Remind me, what are we looking for here? Why are we here?
Anything
looking for
shiny,
Riot and Clandestine.
Anything shiny, anything interesting, anything unique, anything fun?
I imagine if this place was raided time and time again, what are you possibly going to find other than a fan?
An adventure.
Well,
you just see Riot grinning. Grinning, and hey, there is glory in trying to figure out, and if there's some weird, unusual creature just fending it off, it's just the glory behind that, and the fame that could just say that this creature took over this vessel, and you alone stood in the doorway and fought this thing off. Wouldn't that be incredible?
It would be incredible. However, I know you are trying to manipulate me.
I'm not doing anything.
If you find this creature, I will vanquish it.
Right, what are you doing?
That said,
why are you tempting fate?
I want to pause. I want to pause because my Steven, my mount, I want to make sure is definitely on watch outside. so I do have a telepathic connection with that thing, so that if it were to see anything that is assumed dangerous, I don't know, a bunch of hooded bandits, whatever, coming this way, I would be alerted. I just want
Okay.
to point that out.
Roll your balance perception as well with Nia's natural one.
That's a good one. That's a funny one. Let me find that.
Yeah, you have access to its character sheet. You know what?
Character sheet? I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah,
let me pull that up.
You should have access to this one over here.
Just have a character sheet.
Yeah, and while I'm at it, Melina, you're also sort of outside, right? I mean, I would imagine that in between waiting for your
I'm
party and stuff, if you
Working
want
my
to.
way over.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna start walking
Alright.
around to see what they're doing.
Okay.
Steven, 10. Go, you go, Steven. You
Okay.
go.
Melina, do you want to like perceive anything while you're out there, or like?
Yeah, if there's any disturbances, or if I feel anything in the ground, or maybe there's like a shift, or excuse me, a quick like shift wind change.
Sure.
Perception, normal.
Yeah. You concentrate upon the wind. It's hot upon your skin. There's barely any of it, which only adds to the heat. You can feel your parched throat, your dry tongue, water. And then your thoughts drift a little bit on that, and then it's been 10 seconds, and you shake off that feeling. And you see the horse, Steven, is sort of zoning out as well, half chewing on one of the prickled fruits and then like spitting it out because it can't eat it, and then a weenie in pain. You think like, oh, fucking dumb horse, like probably like chewed on like a cactus fruit or something like that. That's when suddenly the sand beneath your feet begins to shift, as if the very ship begins to like rise or something like that. It's just moving when it shouldn't. You try to keep your balance as like this rumbling sensation from below grows intense, and then because Riot is tempting fate, something gargantuan just bursts out of the ground with like a cloud of dust. You feel
Steven.
You feel a giant pincer snap itself around your waist, Melina,
Oh no.
and begin to crushing. You're not even wearing armor. So can I have you make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I'm gonna chrono shift that shit.
You
I
better.
wish
I'm
I could
worried.
use the amulet on you, but I don't see you at all.
No, I'm gonna use one though.
You feel the ship's hull shudder
That's better.
as something moves it aside and almost hits it with a few scuttling feet. You just hear along the hull as something rocks it for a moment. With a 18, you manage to see this claw come out, and you just duck out of the way, inches from it, like decapitating you at the neck, and then you just duck as another claw, this color of nasty rust, swings around to hit the horse off its balance. This gargantuan brood mother of a scorpion just erupts out of the sands.
You son of a bitch.
It has like the head of like this arachnid creature unveils itself from beneath the sands. 6 pairs of beady black eyes stare out, and you hear a spine-chilling screech emit from a large set of mandibles. This large, curved stinger on the end swivels into view, and a chitinous-plated body with thousands of tiny insectile eggs upon it shake off the sand as you get a glimpse on the sheer size of this 15 to 20 foot territorial scorpion broodmother. Roll for initiative.
So I'm just gonna say this. My wife says I'm one of the biggest jinxes around, that I'll say shit and then shit will actually happen. I feel
You
like
should
I'm the
listen
jinx.
to your wife.
Oh, all of us roll for initiative. Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Maybe you should learn to not threaten me with a good time.
You know what? I thought you wanted a great story to tell, and
And now
we have
we
a bard
shall
with us.
have a
For the
fantastic
bards on the
story.
other side of the map. Up on a cliff.
Oh dear God, Melina's the squishiest one. She's alone.
You did this, right? This is your fault.
No, this isn't Ryan's fault. This is Will's
I
fault.
didn't select my character. What do you
Oh,
mean I didn't
fuck
select
yeah,
my
sick.
character?
Who doesn't want to roll low? I certainly love it.
Luckily, Melina rolled a natural 20.
My twin spell's gone, right?
Yeah, it's past the threshold of hour. Did everybody roll initiative? Because I'm not counting everyone.
I did roll it, and I did click my character before I did it, but it didn't do it properly. So Naya has 8.
I'll roll your initiative then. Cool. Do we have any clashing initiatives? No, we do not. Okay.
Well,
It was nice knowing you guys. I'm gonna drop
Yeah.
a nuke on myself.
Well, luckily you ruled with your reaction of, even with your sensation, you didn't see the initial attack, the initial ambush coming until it was too late to grasp at you. Luckily, you dodge out of the way, and now you see yourself being surrounded by the broodmother and a whole bunch of little swarms of these like same black scorpions you saw crawling over the hall, but now in a larger sort of concentration of maybe like 25 to 50 per swarm. These tiny little broodlings. Top of initiative, we have Melina.
Oh,
I'm going to. I can't use 2 leveled spells. That sucks. That's a tough one. I can't just nuke myself because then I would hit myself with my own spell, and that would just be kind of dumb. But I can only use 1 leveled spell. Okay. I'm going to. I'm gonna Misty Step out of there.
Okay.
And then...
For the sake of Misty Step, you also have vision of the top deck by the wheel. Because this railing over here has, like, you can see through it.
I'm going to go... Where's... Oh, it's 60 feet. Okay. 25, 30... Oh, I'm not...
we're in the shed.
Right here. I'm above, like, standing on the edge, and so, like, where that little L frame is.
Sounds good. So...
And then...
Yep.
Once I bonus action that to get out of there, just to try to give myself some room, I'm gonna yell, "There's a fucking sand scorpion here, please! Your steed is in trouble!" And then I'm going to cast, for the second time now, momentary stasis on the... Ooh, no. It's a larger, smaller. I can't do that, never mind. It's... What's the next level up from large? Huge?
Huge.
Fuck. Okay. Then I'm just going to cast a Ray of Frost at it. And Ray of Frost, here we go.
Trying to like
11. Summon
forth as much moisture, like frozen in the fire. Like there's not enough water in the air. You're trying to conjure just enough to summon forth a ray of frost that fizzles out as you shoot it.
That's my turn.
Okay, fair enough. So right, what you see is you hear like this awful screech, and then like this magical as in a swivel of sand and gilded grain, like the sands of time, Melina just reappears above you, above the grate, so you have visual of her, and she just screams like, "Giant broodmother, scorpion!" What do you do on your turn? You are 10 feet below deck, and I believe
About like 30 feet to the entrance, where
Yes.
the hole we were.
yes.
All right. So, first of all, Riot's gonna look at.
Also,
Winston.
there's 20 feet south of you. There's more cracks you can crawl through.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
FYI.
he's gonna look at Winston and like give him a nudge. Hey, hey, hey! Good time.
Are you even aware what's up top?
I don't know. It's a fight. I mean, we get into a lot of fights.
Get up there! There's a scorpion!
So Riot is going to use his feline reflexes to dash 30 feet, and he can see about here. I think this is. I'm going to use Erupt Earth, but I don't want to hit the horse. So I'm trying to figure out how much. I'm trying to build a square. Delete that. How do I delete that?
Just click on it with the
Delete.
arrow tool.
Eruptor,
So
if you choose a
I-
point you can see within the 120-foot range, a fountain of churned earth and stone erupts in a 20-foot cube. 20 by 20.
I'm trying to draw a 20-foot cube. So
4
that's
by 4.
5.
I'm gonna say if you select the corner of the creature, then you'll be able to hit it and 2 of its swarms. But you select the point, I suppose.
Yeah, I was gonna go like right there,
This works for me.
and they have to make a dex save,
Sure.
and that would be 3d12 bludgeoning. And dex or it's 16 is the spell save.
They all fail.
Every
Nice.
Roll damage.
minute. 23 damage. That whole area's
Difficult?
rough terrain, difficult terrain. Sorry, I wanted that to not be solid for you. Oh, okay.
No, it's
And
fine.
then Riot's gonna bolt 30 feet back.
23 damage.
23.
As the earth erupts, you just spike up the swarms, and you can see 2 of them just scatter. There's just instant goop over sands. You unsteady the beast, but being retains its position as it uses one of its legendary resistances,
Oh, fuck, legendary resistances. So it doesn't fall prone.
taking half damage of 23, which will be 11.
11. All right, guys. There's 2 less creatures outside. Let's go. Break.
Alrighty then. Focusing upon the squishy little mage that caught its attention, it's gonna first of all sting the horse for a natural 1 to hit. The horse panics and it misses. Then the Moonboy is gonna go ahead and make a standing leap, leaping up 15 feet high or 13 feet long. 30 feet. And losing some of its movement because of difficult terrain. Landing here, the 3 of you guys are below deck, so I'll keep that in mind. And then we have... just reading its stat block here. With a leap attack. Leaping attack, I'm just reading it. If the scorpion drops at least 50 feet as part of its movement, it can then use its action to land on its feet in a space that contains 1 or more creatures. Nope, it cannot land on you because you're too far away, you blink too far, and the difficult terrain restrains you. So it's going to go ahead and use its remaining movement to go here and reach you with a... do you wear any ferrous metal, Melina?
No, I have robes and clothes. I can't even wear armor.
Fair enough. Not seeing anything shiny. You see it retracts its like rust-colored claw and lashes out at you, just breaking that sun-bleached wood in front of you and scraping the claw back, missing you. With that being said, it's going to maintain its position there, and then bonus action, hatchlings.
Yeah, you just hear like a gasp from her, like just getting a little too close now. It's like she feels like her time is starting to catch up.
Okay. Centipede swarms, you can see one of the clusters of eggs on her back just burst out as a swarm of these fuckers goes ahead and crawls towards you at their respective speed. They're going to end their turn on your token, but I'm going to place them over here for the sake of my sanity, because they have to occupy your space in order to bite. Against you, Melina, I have 19 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Okay. 5 piercing damage. And you said you have absolutely think you have any metal on you whatsoever.
Any metal on me?
Like ferrous metal, yeah.
You have a ring that's metal?
Yeah, I mean I have like my ring is, but like, do you want just anything at all?
What is it made out of? The ring.
What is normal rings made out of?
I'm asking you, what is your ring made out of?
I don't know anything about jewelry. I guess whatever the standard ring is. I don't know if it's.
Give me a medal.
What is it? The ring of
I don't
spell
know.
storing?
No.
I have a ring of spell storing. My wedding ring. I don't.
We both know that's not the ring I'm talking about.
Titanium.
Titanium?
Oh, is that it? I don't know. Or what rings are made out of.
Not Ferris.
Oh,
Okay. So just the 5 piercing damage. With that being said, the other swarms just move at their speed throughout the deck, as we are then taking one of my NPC's turns. So 20 feet in a general direction, 20 feet in a general direction, 20 feet away from the eruption. Actually, one of them is contact the horse. Why not? Swarm of hatchlings, attack, bite.
there you go.
Wait, is there a metal on the horse?
For 11 piercing damage.
Kinda.
As one of the swarms begins to swarm upon the horse, we then have Clandestine's turn. She's going to go ahead and begin making her way out of the bowels of the ship to try and aid the wizard. It's going to take her full movement to get 25 feet and climb up to the edge of the ship over here. She has no range, so unfortunately that is it for her, as Nia takes her turn. Nia all the way over there. Playing Mufasa.
Nia would be seeing all of this from her high vantage point, and seeing as she's not close enough to really do much besides, she would, let me double check that right. Yeah, she would take out her new recently acquired short bow and take aim at the creature that is currently attacking poor Steven. Poor Steven.
100 feet away.
Well, short bow is 80 to 360, I think. Short bow is
Take
80
aim and
to
fire.
320.
So that's a disadvantage,
Why is it a disadvantage?
because you're 100 feet away from the target.
It's a normal roll if you're 80 feet from the target.
Mhm.
Anything over that disadvantage.
The lower number is your normal range. Anything above that is disadvantage, and then that top number, the slash number, is the maximum you could ever do.
Oh, good. Well, it's the best she can do from the distance that she's at, so she knocks it out and takes a shot.
You managed
Poison
to
arrows?
hit the horse.
I need to remove that.
Roll
Me.
5 piercing damage.
You hit the
Your
horse?
arrow sinks into the horse.
Oh, damn.
You shot Steven! He told me
not
about
poison.
this! We will have words later.
After that, and seeing how she really, having tried her best to see what she could do from here, she really does make her effort to climb down. I'm going with it's difficult terrain to get down from here.
No. It's difficult terrain to climb up, but climbing down is a matter of your either athletics or acrobatics. Whichever one of you
Do you want me
to
to roll first before I move?
Well, yeah. Yeah. It's not difficult terrain, it's just a matter of whether you stay on your feet. I'm assuming it's a normal roll of 23. You managed to stay on your feet.
So she makes
As
her way
you
down.
slide down, yeah.
20, 10,
23. Do a nice Dark Souls
Right here.
roll as you descend down to the deck of the ship. Anything else in your turn?
And having gotten down to here, she nope, that's it.
Okay, cool. We
No
have
close.
the Paladin's turn. You are 10 feet below the shadow of this monstrosity. What do you do?
So I would start to run upstairs. Do I come across Melina in this little tiny scorpion first?
The swarm upon her body? You can see
Yeah,
it through the grate above.
Great above. I would keep running I'm trying to get my bearings here because I imagine I'm below deck.
You're 10 feet below deck, yes.
I would run upstairs until I come across the first thing I see. And is that going to be the big guy, or am I going to first see Melina?
You can
running up
definitely
the steps?
see the broodmother first. It's especially its tail. It's arcing above it, and its form is already standing 5 feet above the deck, as the rest of it is like 10 feet more taller. It's quite a huge creature.
All right. I will approach the broodmother.
If you have enough movement. So it'll be which direction you're running, south or north? Assuming you're heading out of the ship.
I have a speed of 40, so
I understand.
whatever it takes.
So which direction do you take? North or south?
I don't understand the question.
So looking at the map and where your token is, in order to get out of the ship, you have to run to either side of the ship to get out of its inside, right, where you find yourself, to fit through the holes and squeeze out. Right?
I imagine like when you whenever you ascend a set of steps, you come up to the top. No?
There are no steps in this room you're in. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you walked in through a hole to the north.
So
Like punched in, or there's one to the south.
Bare basics of how a ship is built. You are in a cargo hold. Usually, cargo is being loaded with a crane through the hole you're looking up. But right now, that hole is being sealed by a grate. There are no steps to go down here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All cargo. I gotcha. Well, then I would go to the north.
Okay, so north, with your 40 speed, you manage to maneuver out of ship with your 25 speed. An additional 10 will be 35 as you climb up to the ship, and you can end your turn like here, right next to the beast, if you wish. That will be 40 speed, as you're above the deck.
All right.
Make sense?
We'll end our turn there. Makes sense.
Okay.
I am going to... I'm gonna hit it with the. I'm gonna pull out. So I have my shield and my long sword. I'm gonna hit it with the long sword. Does a 10 hit?
It does not. It's a tough curve pace, plates of armor upon armor. Just glides off.
I'll try again.
Fucking do it again.
Oh, look at that! Slow improvement. I am getting better.
You are slowly hitting it from
over
above.
time.
Is like hitting concrete a little bit as you're dulling your blade strike by strike, and it's sending off a bit of like that ferrous spark.
Eventually, I'll get you. Just stay right here. Say that ends my turn.
Okay, Melina.
Oh boy. Sir Winston, I'm gonna help you. I promise, but I am about to be in a real bad spot.
Do what you must.
Okay. I'm gonna have to do it again, and I kind of hate doing it.
Must what you do.
I'm actually going to... Oh, fuck. I can only use one level spell. It just fucking kills me. No, you know what? Let's do this. Let's be a little ballsy, I guess. Live a little bit. I'm going to use my bonus action to force away these little maggots, or excuse me, scorpions, the brood. They have to make a DC 17 strength.
And this is against what condition?
I just want to push these guys away.
Like how? Are you using a spell or like your entire action?
No, that's my feat that I have. I have telekinesis or telekinesis.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure you were using telekinesis.
Oh,
okay, cool. So Dale, rule on one.
I'm gonna push them away, and if I'm able to, if having the quick insight, would I be able to push him through this grate just to be like, oh, get the fuck off, and then they fall through because they're so tiny?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do that. I just want to fucking get rid of.
You can push them down if there's a point down. You can push them to. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to get rid of them. I'm not even knowing where you guys are at down there. I'm just trying to fight for my life. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, Yeah, does this railing have a little bit of cover for anything, just in case?
I'll give you half cover, like +2 to your AC.
Okay. And then I'm going to use my action to cast Mirror Image. I don't know why that has a spell save DC, but 3 other illusions of me kind of like rippling through time right now, maybe different timelines that are out there in the world appear, and they're kind of like mimicking what I'm doing right now. A little bit of like cosmic colors and some like, you know, blinking in and out, like little schisms here and there. Nice. That is Nito Burrito. And she's just gonna yell, I could use some help here, please! And that's gonna be her turn.
Fair enough. Right. Riot, you hold off. Legendary action. Claw attack against you. No, you're still below deck, aren't you?
Yep.
Ah, fuck. Claw attack against the Paladin party. Grasping Claw. It's gonna be a 23 to hit against Whiston.
Hey, Winston Churchill.
18 bludgeoning damage against Whiston as you are grappled.
Well, we'll see about that.
Okay. With that being said, sorry, in between turns, Riot.
No worries. I know what legendary actually do. So is this thing like 10 feet above me, like on the ceiling or some shit?
It's on the deck above.
Oh, it's on the deck above. Okay.
Mm-hmm. A swarm of its brood has just fallen 5 feet away from you and is crawling towards you right now.
So it's 5 feet away, so if I move, it gets attack of opportunity. Or it's on the ceiling, technically.
It cannot attack you through the grate. Its claws are too big.
Okay. This creature here, can I see it from where I am underneath?
Yes.
Like, does it have any bonus to AC right now?
You can fuck around and try. I'll tell you if you have bonuses. I'm not going to tell you my enemy's ACs.
Hey, do I have any bonuses right now?
You feel safe behind the grate before it smashes in, like, and breaks it. Its claws are too big to fit through.
Okay, too big to fit through. God. Alright, I'm gonna try casting Guiding Bolt at this thing.
Guiding Bolt. Go for it. Go to hit.
Core, Guiding Bolt. Where's my Guiding Bolt? I need to fix this stuff.
You do.
16?
16 misses.
Alrighty, I will...
It just scuttles low and it just flies past it into the skies.
Oh, then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4... over my 30 movement, and I will remain there.
Fair enough. Legendary action. Sting you, Paladin. 16 to hit. I believe that does not penetrate your armor. Though your armor says it's 13 for some reason.
I may not have activated the
Half plate?
half plate.
Half plate is how much armor, guys? 16, right?
Here. I'll do it right now. Core. Activate half plate. Yeah, I'm at 18.
You're at 18 right now with your shield?
With shield and
Yep,
half
you
plate.
deflect the stinger as it then takes its turn, having used all its legendary actions to try and sting you once more. Trying to work its way around for 23 this time.
Bring it on.
So on top of the 18 damage you suffered last time from your bludgeoning of the claw, you are getting stung for 23 piercing damage, and I'll have to make you make me a Constitution saving throw unless you are somehow immune to poison.
I'm immune to disease, not poison.
Never know how paladins work, so I'm just asking.
Yeah. So what I got? A con save?
Constitution saving throw. Failing, taking a total of on this turn.
Like crap today.
I'm gonna frontal shift that.
Thankfully, you have a time wizard on your side. For a moment, you see a timeline where the stinger goes in and the paladin just goes gray and stiff and stops breathing, and you chrono shift that shit, trying to quickly pick a different timeline. Go ahead and reroll it.
And we'll do this.
There you go.
Natural 20. I'm gonna say that you take only this much damage in total with the poison damage, and you are not poisoned, therefore not paralyzed with the pain of this poison, as your constitution just shakes off this effect, thankfully. That being said, you're probably still looking pretty roughed up, as you're getting focused on, being the only one in its range.
You're saying I only take 33 damage?
Yeah, you only take 33. Compared to the
Okay.
poison condition
Compared
stuff.
to the
Yeah.
21?
Yeah,
Alright.
because 23 plus 10. So 33. 23 piercing damage, and then you take half the poison damage, which is 10. Anyways, with that all being said, I'll go ahead and move my swarms, as we have it roll d6 to see if it spawns another one. If there are 6, it does. Unfortunate. More eggs hatch, as we have one of them a cost silver. Missing. One of them will go ahead and crawl toward you, Melina, but they are pretty slow, so they can only manage to dash towards you at full speed, but don't have enough actions to attack you this turn. The other swarms scuttle throughout the ship. One of them begins to scuttle close toward where Nia is standing. And the other one remains where it is, sort of scuttling to take cover in the boxes. This is where you last see that one. The last swarm over yonder is right next to Steven. Steven is still trying to shake them off. Against Steven's non-armor, that's going to be a hit. What happens to your mount when it reaches 0 HP, my guy?
Motherfucker just, he just disintegrates.
Like a familiar, he just puffs back to
Yeah,
you.
he is a familiar. Yeah.
Fair enough. So this celestial / fey being just sort of poofs into a cloud of celestial dust. So that's it for Steven. And that swarm will then begin to move toward the center of the ship. It already attacks, so it can only move this far. With that being said, it's Glenesta's turn. She's going to go ahead and try and battle the swarm upon her. Clawing upon it with her 3 attacks. All 3 hits. Let's see if she has any attacks to spare once she gets rid of the swarm. 7, not enough. Not enough. So it's 12 plus 7 for a total of... No, she's still struggling with swarm, but it is slowly thinning out to like half its volume. Nia, it is your turn.
Nia, seeing that she desperately needs to make her way across, she takes out her Bandalore and she casts the spell Fly upon herself. Upon doing that, she... Let me double check how this will work. Gains a flying speed of 60 feet. Yay. And with that, she raises above the deck and moves 60 feet over yonder. And she's about 20 feet above. I'm going with 20. The 20 to go up counts as part of her 60 flying.
Yeah, diagonals sort of count in your favor there, yeah.
Okay. So she'll go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, something like that. Does that look about right?
Yeah.
Is that her max, or is there more?
No,
that
you
she
get
has
60 feet of movement horizontal because that's part of your verticals. So you can move an initial 20 feet forward if you wish.
Beautiful.
Ascension is part of your movement.
Cool. And then an additional 5, 10, 15, 20.
Neat.
And that lasts for 10 minutes.
Winston!
Okay. Let's do this. I'm grappled, right?
You are grappled, yes.
I'm going to channel some divinity as my bonus action. I'm going to do a little bit of this. And
You
I have
go back
advantage
here
on
for
6
this.
strength. So I want to break the grapple.
Go for it. With might and glory, you enhance your athleticism, channeling forth your divines to break out of the grapple.
And so that's my action, right?
Correct, yes.
To break. Okay, so that took my action. All right. And that was my bonus action to activate. And so action, bonus action. So I got nothing left. Yeah, there's not a thing I can do. Nothing I can do.
Okay.
That's it.
Melina.
I'm gonna try and get some damage in out of the very few things that I can do.
Oh, top of the second round, by the way, Griffins flown into view. Just by the by. Top of the second round, like 12 seconds just comment after hearing the screech, your Griffins fly into view.
Alright, okay. I have to learn how to do this real quick. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. I don't know how to use this tool very well.
What are you trying to do?
It's a 20-foot radius. Is that 5, 10, 15? That's only 15. It needs to go a little bit larger. Fuck, how do I make it bigger? Nope. Anyways, I wanted to hit those three. The one that went into the boxes, the brood to the north here, and then Big Mama. I know a 20-foot radius would hit all of that. It's just this.
Sounds good. What are you hitting them with?
And then I'm hitting him with a vitriolic sphere.
What's that?
This is my big thing. Does an emerald, 1 foot diameter ball of emerald acid streaks that streaks and it explodes in a 20-foot radius sphere. Each creature in the must make a dexterity saving throw, DC 17.
So starting with the brood mother, we have dexterity saving throw, which fails, and we have hatchlings. The one toward the north is going to be a fail as well, and fail as well.
Box boys.
So you destroy the box and the hatchlings with it. Go ahead and roll damage.
Vitriolic sphere. Oh, this is a neat little thing it gave me. Yeah, level 4. 26 acid off the get-go.
Destroying the hatchlings.
And then at the end of its next turn, it takes an additional 5d4.
Okay, I have an icon on it to indicate just that, as it's blighted with that acid damage covered in it. The creature just screeches out in insectile chitter. It's gonna go ahead and take only half damage with its second legendary resistance. You cannot undo it with legendary resistance.
Okay.
It's one of the few things I have, but nonetheless, you are using up its resources. Nice.
Oh, and then, that's that. And then I'm going to bonus action these little fuckheads away from me. The telekinetic force push, DC 17 strength.
17 strength? Probably not going to make it. These hatchlings are just babies fresh out of the egg. Get pushed away how far?
5 feet. Just down the stairs.
Just down the stairs, okay.
Little tumbly boys.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pick up all 4 of myself. I know the original. Maybe I should mark the original one, but I know which one. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She's gonna move over there. And then that's gonna be her turn.
Okay, fun fact about swarms, so you don't get attacks of opportunity because their reach is 0 feet. So
Nice.
Go ahead and end your turn there.
Yeah, as she's moving, all her projections are following her, and she's like, not today. I don't see it yet. Just kind of looking through the timelines and everything, but yep, and that's her turn.
Fair enough. Top of the round, recovered legendary actions. Riot, you see a mighty stinger just sort of arc itself off the side of a ship and with a chitter, you hear it approach you with a sting. It's going to be a 25 to hit against you.
How the hell does it reach me over 10 feet and then 10 feet down? 20 feet.
Diagonals.
I guess it hits me because I
Constitution.
don't. What? Con save.
10-foot reach.
13. I'm going to use the amulet charge to reroll that.
Go for it.
Are you in the Paladin's aura? Because you get a bonus to that too, don't forget.
I don't know if I am.
Paladin, share that.
There's an aura?
Yeah. I tried to mention it and it was just raked over, but yeah.
How large is the aura?
10 feet.
So I'd be
Yeah.
with, and that's the +3 you gave me that I got when I took the suit, right?
Yeah, that's exactly why I told you get +3. Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know how far. Sorry. So I guess that'd be a 16 then, with his aura.
A 16 saves against the poison. You take only half of that, so a total of 31 from the sting. And you are not poisoned. Further.
Oh my god.
That is the top of your turn then.
My turn. 1 second. Let me just do the math right now. Oh. God. All right. Riot's bloodied.
Yep.
Riot. I'm going to move. I'm going to go. Sorry. I'm going to go there. I'm going to use 15 feet and be on the side of the boat. And I am going to cast Blight onto the mother. It's a DC 16.
What? What skill?
On, I believe.
21.
Alright, so it saves.
I'll
Taking.
question that.
Okay.
I'll reach into the time, and I'll be like, no, I'm still in control. And then she'll use the silvery barbs for 7.
Nick receives inspiration for using Equip for the first time in 37 seconds.
Yeah.
With Silver Barbs, it's a 7 save.
Alright. So 35 damage, necrotic damage.
Necrotic energies wash over the creature of your choice. It takes the damage. I'm just looking to see if there's any effects with having failed the save.
No, not to my knowledge, no.
The cacti around it wither. Okay, 35 necrotic, full effect. As some of the chitinous places begin to fall off, and some of the claw begins to continuous rust color down the ligament. All right, it is
And Riot will
looking
call out
bloody.
to Winston and be like, if you go down, I have a spell to bring you back up real quick.
I will never be defeated.
Okay, template then. Legendary action, claw. Corroding. Make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, the paladin. Sorry, I'm attacking the only person in reach at this point. So against Winston, as the corroded claw touches your armor and scrapes against it, you're trying to move out of the way.
Advantage on me.
This is a deck save. I'll use a charge as a reaction to make him redo it.
Make him reroll. Go ahead. Yeah. Make sure you're counting those charges on your character sheet. Because
I have 3 left.
yeah. Oof.
I'm not a very good roll. I'm just bad at rolling everything.
You're getting them out of the way. If the armor is being worn, metal armor. Choose. As you see the claw coming towards you, you know that you are too wounded to try and dodge it away. You can either block it with your shield or just try and take it with the brunt of your plate.
Shield?
shield. As it scrapes against your shield, you can see parts of it just quickly rusting off and crumbling inwards. Your shield only now provides you 1 bonus AC instead of 2, as it corrodes. That being said, it is top of its turn. It is going to go ahead and...
Wait, it didn't go... Like, what was the stinging of Riot earlier? I thought that was its turn.
No, that's called legendary actions.
Legendary action.
Do you know what those are?
I do know what those are. I
Yeah,
did not
so-
realize that it was just...
Yeah.
Okay.
So it has a legendary action to sting, and it has a legendary action that it just used on top of its... at the end of Riot's turn. That's all its legendary actions for this round. Top of the round, it will go ahead and... leap 15 feet up and lands in this space. Can I get the paladin? Quinston, it's a strength or dexterity saving throw, your choice. As it leaps into the air and lands on top of you.
Is it leaving my space?
I'm gonna say yes.
Because I get an opportunity attack.
Go for it.
And Sentinel. My Sentinel will take it back.
Okay, cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, big old boy keeping it in spot. Let's go.
You ain't going nowhere!
So it's
Alright.
it begins to
Here
scuttle
comes
up
my
the...
low roll. Here we go.
Begins to
So
scuttle
you probably
up,
could-
jumping up.
Right.
I love how it's +8 and I still rolled an 11.
Unfortunate. As you scrape
Oh,
off the
that's
plate
sad.
on its leg, it lands on top of you. I'll have you make me either a strength or dexterity saving throw, your choice.
Strength.
Can't use the amulet again.
Yeah, and I'm all out of reactions.
Alright, so strength saving throw. I got my shit activated, so it should be advantage 26.
26. Cool. You managed to stay on your feet and not get knocked prone. On a successful save, the creature only takes half the damage.
Is it on top of me?
Yes.
I should be able to carry this thing.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yep. If you so wish.
Pick him up and like skewer him on something.
You
That'd
take
be dope.
14 damage total.
Yeah, I'm almost dead.
And you are pushed out of the scorpion space into an unoccupied space of your choice.
Hold on 1 second.
Any square 5 feet away from it. Is your reactionary get pushed out and dodge roll out of the way there?
So, like, as I'm looking at this, my lifting capacity plus my activated channel divinity, I should be able to basically lift 1,900 pounds.
Yes.
Jesus.
So it landing on me. I mean, okay, if you're saying I should be pushed out of the way, it doesn't make sense to me if I can put 1,900 pounds over my head.
Are you trying to catch this thing?
Yeah. But, you know, I'll move. If that's how it goes.
I'm trying to understand what you don't find fair, that you cannot lift it when it's not your turn. What is supposed to? What would you
I'm
rather
saying
happen?
there's a lot of stats that need to be accounted for, but sure.
So kind of like
Done.
you're trying to use maybe like a reaction to catch it or something.
I'll hear you out. What would you rather happen if not you getting pushed out of its way and not getting prone by it because you managed to successfully save against its sleep?
I guess what I'm saying is if you, the human, can lift 200 pounds over your head and a fuzzy bunny jumped on you, it wouldn't move you out of your space,
It would do what it said.
is my point.
Do
But
you want to be underneath it?
sure.
Or did you want to move it off of your space? Like closer to Riot?
In an epic feat
It's
of strength,
fine.
would you like to catch it on top of you
I-
as it leaps on top
I
of you
will-
and hold it?
I will follow the rules as they are written.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna... Okay, moving right along then. Second attack against you, Riot, for a 22.
Hit him.
It hits. Only 11 and grappled, and that would be the end of its turn.
Ride's at 5 health.
Gotcha.
You said that's the end of
its
the Blue
turn.
Brothers?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
What's up?
It has to take an additional 14 damage from the acid.
You remember how it wastes legendary resistance to save against your spell? A creature that saves doesn't have to take the latter part of damage. So you did waste its legendary resistance, but it doesn't have to take the latter part of damage. That being said, it's still bloodied.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Oop. I've only used the spell just this first time. He used legendary resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, hold on. What was the legendary resistance?
If it fails a saving throw, it can choose to succeed it.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
But it still halves it though, right?
So it halves the initial damage, and then it doesn't take the second instance of damage.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
you can take a damage to
Yeah.
your own
No, you're
spell.
good. You're good.
We have the centipede's turns then. Not much of them remaining at this point. One of them does crawl around, just sort of creepily inching toward Melina. And the other ones attack
Go away.
the rogue among you. She did reduce them to half HP, so they're doing reduced damage to her. Only 5. Wounding her. Rust metal. It's an 11 save on her to avoid her getting fuck with. And this time rolls a save of 24, saving against the rust effect of the bites. With that being said, only you guys reduce all the swarms, so it is Clonessa's turn. She's going to spend her turn finishing off the hatchlings upon her body with a strike against their AC. Oh, missing, wow. Finishing off with a second strike, and then moving in to save Melina with a third and last cat online attack against the swarm for a miss. Or actually, no, that's a miss. With that being said, as Silver tries to help Melina and her Meg twins, we have Nia's turn as you're hovering above the ship beyond her.
So Nia continues her flight and will use the correct tool to fly over to our newly acquired paladin side, and seeing his struggle, will use her healing kit for, looks like, some well needed
Battle medicine.
health. And he's level 8 like the rest of us, right?
Yes. Ooh, max damage. Max healing, rather.
Oh, that's
18
moist.
health.
Soothing.
Oh, that feels so much better. Great. Fully. Thank you, Naya.
And she will maintain her position behind the paladin to give support. And she kind of like touches his shoulder or is more just like, while giving her immediate battle medicine, explains to him. By the way, she's down now because she has to touch him, so she's not flying up.
Cool. That gives you +2 to your AC because you're using him as your shield.
Yay. She explains to him that stay near me, because as you can provide me AC, I can also provide you AC as well with my gift of protective wings. They cannot see now, but when the time arrives, they shall appear.
in a half-poisoned stupor, he's like, "What's AC?"
I was literally just typing that. She speaks in strange tongues. What is AC?
As you provide an aura of protection.
Right. No, we got you. Yeah.
So can I. Try not to go far. At least not in this weakened state.
Anything else on your turn?
Your draconic is profound.
Yeah.
As a bonus action, she will grant our new paladin bardic inspiration.
Oh, cool.
I'll take that. I will take that.
Yeah, I'll put a little harp symbol on you for that, just so we remember. That's cool. Sir Winston is on deck.
Winston. Now that I have a smidge of healing, I shall swing at this fool. But I'm gonna do some Great Weapon Master. I'm gonna add that to my roll, so that's a -5 on the attack.
Okay.
25 hits with 20.
There you fucking go, dude.
So
So
20.
-5 for 20? That hits.
All right, I'm gonna do 20. All right, and then let me roll damage first.
Yeah, for sure. As you swing your money longsword with an orcish battle roar.
12. And then
Plus 10?
Oh, I'm doing. I'm gonna divine smite this motherfucker on top of that.
Yeah, go for it.
Or I'm gonna do 2 levels of divine smite, second level. So
Dope.
How many
there we
D8
go.
And Bardic Inspiration can add
D8.
damage to Divine Smite because it's...
No,
Okay.
only
Yeah.
magical inspiration gives damage.
Oops,
Fair enough.
wrong thing. There's the rules there. Extra 2d8 plus 1d8, so 3d8.
3. Nice.
This creature's non-dead. Or a fiend.
Where the hell is the
Roll your 3d8, sir.
3d8? There it is. 13 on top of that.
Give me a total number of damage, please.
35.
That
You got
looks...
35.
35?
Yeah.
If you guess how much health it has remaining, I'll say you killed it.
30. After I hit
After you hit it.
2. 1. 2.
Which one are you guessing?
2.
It has one remaining.
Damn!
But you have one more attack remaining. So
I'm gonna smash it again! You shan't strike me with your villainous talon.
Fuck yeah, boy.
So clutching onto Riot with its one claw, threatening to squeeze a little tobacco, so you can hear Silver just cry out, "Help him!" And then like you just fucking go for a claw. First you tear it off, and you take your fucking longsword. And how would you like to do this?
I would first swing and cut the damn tail off, and then just cut the claw that's got him in half, and then the whole thing would just die.
Oof. So there's a nice juicy like 10, maybe 15-foot tail lying there on the deck, bleeding out venom and monstrous ichor lashed away. And with that, you strike down the beast. Its hatchlings scuttle about. You guys manage to get the last of them beneath your boot as we call combat over. In the last moments, your griffins arriving just in the nick of time, just in case you need to flee, but you managed it. This monster, fast and lethal, but if it bleeds, it's killable. Good job, guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Nai will go around to her party, like giving everyone a roll of her healer's kit. So, because I imagine we're gonna keep going in between this.
Riot is on his hands and knees, coughing up blood.
So she goes over to Riot. Riot, you get
17.
17. Okay. And then
Immediate
she goes over
post-care.
to Melina, also not in great shape, and Melina gets
I'm full. Don't waste it on me. I'm full. I'm fine.
fine. Nothing for Melina. She's full. Ignore the second one.
Fair enough.
So, and then she would kind of go over Riot and Winston some more, just like, how are you guys? Do you need any additional healing? Let me know.
Hit a girl up.
Hopefully we'll be okay. I can do some healing, but I think I need to save my spell slots for water. Or my spells for water.
But that's what I need. That's what I mean. If you need to save your spell slots,
I'm
Naya
20.
has hers.
I have a third health currently.
So yeah, so with that, she would take out her. What? She doesn't have a casting thing. By the way, with her loot, she would go about and she would cast. Where is it on the sheet? It's been a while since I've had to use the spell because I always freaking use the other one. Let me upcast it. I wanted to upcast that.
Well,
Oh, here it is. Because it's on a different thing. Okay. So, some extra healing for Dear Riot.
awesome.
Additional 15.
So as she heals your aching wounds, sync points, and pins through your bruises, Melina, you watch your healer do her divine work, making sure that everybody's alive. You spot something in your peripheral vision. You see lying on the top deck, where, like, way past where the wheel is, where the top men would work, is the remains, chitinous remain of like a dead mantis man. He lies upon the floor, its skeletal hand outstretched toward a satchel out of reach, and gleaming in the sand. You know that sensation whenever you're looking for something, you tend to notice it more. Like the more you think about something, the more you notice it out in the world. You're like thinking like, oh, my party, they're wounded, and your mind just kind of stays in that mindset. And you see gleaming out of the bag, out of the satchel, is like a vial with familiar looking like red substance within, a healing potion.
God damn. I'll go to pick it up and be like, this seems so out of place, but she kind of is kind of like a little what's that word? Not deja vu. So surreal. It's like, whoa, this is exactly what I need. Like how you said, it's like it's here. Was just like, what the fuck?
I wanted
like,
this.
It's like a ghost putting this here or something, or like someone's opening a time rift behind me. Like here you.
And as your senses come through, like more focus post-battle, the adrenaline gets dropped. You realize that the reason why this corpse was veiled to you is because it was covered in eggs that now just sort of popped. Probably one of the hatchlings. So now that the eggs have popped, this semi-opaque layer of the outer egg has sort of sloshed off all the liquid out of it and revealing this corpse in the satchel, within which, for the sake of expediency, I'm going to say that the satchel contains a few gold pieces, a potion of greater healing, and what looks to be a vial of antitoxin. This corpse just couldn't reach in time.
I'm sorry, say the last part. A potion of magic healing and
a vial of antitoxin. I posted it in chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed it.
Greater health, greater healing. Jeez.
Yes.
Nice.
Chat's moving. I'm trying to copy and paste this. I actually took really good notes today, sorta.
Trying to keep a good pace.
No, it's good.
Potion of greater healing,
so
for those of you wondering, heals 44 plus 4.
Yeah, I was actually gonna put that in the chat. 44 plus 4.
Vial antitoxin. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, 44 plus 4. Got it.
Antitoxin being a very common piece of gear too. A creature that drinks a vial of liquid. Antitoxin gains advantage on saving throws against poison for 1 hour, and it but the antitoxin rather does not benefit undead or constructs. So it's a good preventative, but once you're poisoned, you're poisoned. It doesn't cure poison. Only certain spells and other potions cure that. But anyways.
Yeah, I'll pick up the things and kind of shake off the dust and sand, little like, egg, bits and shit. And I'll just kind of rummage through it, look at the coins, the potion of greater healing, the antitoxin, and I'll kind of hold it close to me, kind of like how a football player like holds his stuff and kind of runs down, to the stairs. All of her images are, still kind of with her, just moving slightly out of sync a little bit. And she's gonna say, like, if anyone's still hurting, I found this on the deck. It's lucky that it's still here. It's covered by the brood. Winston, how are you feeling? Raya, what about you?
Give it to Winston. I'm good now. I'm really good. I just got blood on me is all.
All right. Here, the poison.
Myself, and he sort of pounds his chest and does lay on hands and heals himself for 40. All 40 of his pool.
I touch myself.
I myself just need
touch
to,
my nips.
Rub these nipples
I'm
and
fine.
I'm good.
The power.
Feel thine glory.
Yeah, she's just gonna take a step back because of like your radiating like aura that you have around you, but then you're just like super healing it, just going like full Hulk mode, and she's like, I guess you don't need this. We can
Melina's
hold on to it.
Hot damn. That's Melina.
I was gonna say, oh fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh, didn't we get poisoned?
No.
No.
Okay,
No.
I thought so. Yeah, because I saved
Given-
you from one.
I
Given
can
the
feel
situ-
poison.
Given the situation.
Oh, that's right.
Given the situation that has just happened and the hopefully short period of time, Naya will take advantage of her last few moments of having wings and will soar up to the top of her height and take a bird's eye view around and just be like, check for anything else that might decide to pop up on them.
Go ahead and roll me with advantage. Not that you know what sort of. You've seen this creature appear from beneath the sands, so you know what it looks like, sort of right before it unburies itself. Trying to see if any more of those creatures are trying to sneak up on the lot of you. Go ahead and roll me perception with advantage. You know what you're looking for. Yeah. With an 18, sands don't stir. Your mounts seem to be, those of them that survived this calamitous battle seem to be at ease. It looks to be a lone broodmother making her nest here.
I heard what you did there. I felt it. Those that survived.
You can resummon them. Stop crying. Like,
But it was Steven!
With that, Naya comes back down to the ground, and her wing, or well, I guess she didn't have wings. Fly doesn't give her wings, but she kind of like plants her feet firmly back on the ground. It's just like, well, it was something new.
yeah, from here.
This instrument really does have quite a few abilities.
Looking at the monstrosity you just slew, you see its tough carapace that have given even the great sword of your paladin some trouble. It's very tough material that you wonder what you can probably do with it should you harvest the scorpion armor. You see poisonous ichor sort of seep out of the slash stinger on the ground and such. And some of its blood sort of pool at the edge of the grid on the ship, the little metal grid over here, and where the blood touches, you can see the corrosive, rusting properties sort of take hold and slowly eat at the metal. Yeah. But you've bested it.
So
Maybe-
the shield that I used to block, it's just +1 now, just because
Yes.
it got corroded and okay,
Mhm.
got it.
Can probably
If you
be
was to-
repaired at the blacksmith or something like that, or replaced somehow. Perhaps metal down and then reforged into a shield to reduce the price, but that's the properties of this rustic monster hybrid.
I was gonna say, good thing it wasn't an actual rust monster. Your armor would be fucked.
I mean,
That
that's what
would
it does.
Not be fun.
It seems to have been slowly feeding on the ironworks of a ship, rusting it all. You saw some evidence of it, because this zone is not getting much rain at all to oxidize this here. So, with that being said, do you guys wish to do anything before we, at 10:05, wrap up session?
Maybe explore more of the ship.
Where would you like to explore?
The below decks that haven't been searched yet.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me with the help of at least your sister, and anybody else who wishes to join Riot. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check. With
Yeah, I was gonna
advantage,
say-
you're... Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, yeah, if we have nothing else, Bardette seemed like she wanted to come here for her own thing, but if there's no water or food left here, then
Right.
ain't much
Riot
else.
finds nothing.
Okay.
Would you? Oh, was that with advantage? Or
You can.
disadvantage?
You guys can all
Oh, that
roll
was
because
advantage.
we guys can all roll. Riot is rolling with advantage because he has
Right.
clandestine helping him. So I'm gonna say that Silver is not gonna roll. She's just giving
Oh, there
her
we
help.
go. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you found a whole bunch of more sand. A
The
whole lot
boat,
of sand.
everyone! There's a boat in the desert.
Anything nice, shiny. That's all Riot's looking for.
This place has been ransacked. It seems that unless anybody else is left to roll here. Winston, Melina, Riot, somebody didn't roll. It's 4 of you.
Julian.
Oh, Julian? Yeah, but whatever. So.
Julian.
I love how
Julian's
like
gonna
Melina
come
and I
back
both
and
have like a +8 on investigation, and we're both still like, she rolled a 2 and I
Doo-doo.
rolled a 3, and we're just like, God dang
Welcome to the club.
it.
Yeah, you got plagued with some bad rolls, but then you like clutch it at the end. It's like
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little small trade-off.
go Winston.
They're just showing off
Um,
your great power.
I
The
can
other-
do it.
I'm gonna
other
say,
question-
so this was a failure investigation, but that does not mean absolute hurdle. I'm gonna say if you guys take a bit of the day, falling behind on your schedule a bit, and pushing time to the point where should you leave by the time you leave, you will arrive at your destination at nighttime, which would just mean that you'll have less time before rest to do anything you wish. If you wish to spend more time here than at your other destination, then you can do a absolute thorough search that will take you like the better part of like an hour and a half.
Yeah. Right would be up for that.
Okay, like it's just a time
Hold on.
sacrifice. Yeah, go for it.
I would say if you want to give 10 minutes, if it's possible, like where there are the most cargo storages or something, I can check to see around or in the captain's quarters to see if there's like magical items, detect magic or anything.
Yeah, I was going to
Maybe
offer that as
something's
well.
stored away. It's 10 minutes, but then after that we can bounce. If we don't think there's anything else here, we can always just bounce too.
You can do that. I'll spend that same 10 minutes bringing back my beloved Steven.
Okay. So aside from the magic items carried upon your party, Melina, you detect a magic aura coming off the fan in clandestine, like the Silver has picked up off the deck of the ship now, and sort of looking at how pretty it is, sort of opening and closing it to see if it's functioning. It is a 3-foot wide fan with like this black firebird upon it. So there's an aura of magic coming off it. Taking the other like 9 to 8 minutes below deck and stuff that you have remaining of a spell, you find a single magic aura coming from the captain's quarters, the very back of the ship, just coming off this case, black metal case, an abjuration aura. The case is about 7 inches in length, rectangular.
I will. Is there like a lock or anything, or is it completely just able to kind of like a glasses case, just kind of like fold open?
Carefully, gingerly picking it up from the sand, you can see there on the front of it is a small locking mechanism. But the keyhole has been like jammed with like limestone and sand and just rust and ruin. You would imagine that whatever abjuration is locking this is magical.
Okay.
I can dispel it. I think
I was gonna say, if it looks like Nye would use prestidigitation to remove any physical debris from the lock, and
The abjuration aura
leave it
remains.
to you guys to dispel it if that be necessary.
Oh, I don't have dispel magic on me right now.
Let me check, see if I have it on my ring. I don't think I have it on my ring right now. No, I switched it. Yeah. Well, it's something that we can do later or another time. We could always just take the chance, but
Perhaps.
possibly it's warded.
Perhaps we can also see once our rogue decides to stop brooding. Perhaps with his thief tools, maybe he'll have better.
I can make an exception and make Join roll with these tools because I would imagine there's no reason why he wouldn't do that himself. If that's what you guys want to do. Before I do that, though, I would like to describe sort of, now that you get a good glimpse of it, maybe in like the better light of the sun. You, Melina, in your hands, you see the locked box, somewhat heavy, solid, rectangular metal case, approximately half a foot long. The case is engraved with a message. A wondrous kiss. Hereby presented as an award to Captain Samuel Arcade of the Alpharan Union brig, the Sand Grouse, for his heroic actions of holding off. And then the rest of the message is sort of like faded to the wear of time.
Yeah,
Wow.
we'll take that and put it in
The case features a curious maker's mark, like a crest of some sort. A large tree whose bare branches are like reaching up toward the sun.
Oh fuck! I just fucked up my notes. Okay.
The maker's mark looks like this.
Oh, nice. It's very pretty. Sorry, my notes are just
That's
fucking
fine.
me up trying to just put stuff in here. Okay, maybe it's Mark. Arcade. Okay. Yeah, so she claimed the lock, she's able to, but we don't know. Would I be able to detect? I know a little bit of abjuration. Could I spend a little bit of, well, if you guys want to do it here, that's fine. Riot, I know you have the ability to dispel the magic, make it an easy one.
Not
Well, it
now,
seems like
though.
we-
I'd have to get it.
Yeah. We can do it another time, or we can do it when we rest. Kind of give ourselves a little bit of time to think about everything that's happened.
Or Julian can use his thieves' tools. Attempt to open
Yeah,
it.
I'm just worried that like if he tries to open it up, it might like blow up. Like there might be like a word on it or something.
Well, Melina,
Then again,
if you have the
he's
ability,
quick. Yeah,
but
he's
Melina,
quick
if
and
you have
nutty.
the ability to work on it, but you just need time, perhaps you and Silver could trade spots, and you could go on Riot this time, so you can have the time to work on it.
I'll have Julian do it now. I'm not too proficient with that type of stuff. Those tools have never been really my forte. But I'll hand it to Julian. Say there's abjuration magic on it. But please be careful. It's hard to say exactly what it is without actually looking more into it. But I am curious to know what's in here. Avandra's Kiss. That's got to be something. I don't know, heavy.
Riot's going to look at Winston and say, "Do you want me to try harvesting some of this armor off of here for you to like repair some of your armor, perhaps, or your shield, and maybe see if we can salvage some meat from this?"
Use this bionic die.
Certainly not opposed to this idea. My shield seems to have holes in it now, so yeah, I'm all for it if you're capable.
Pretty good. I've in the past I've taken animals apart. I was hoping that the poison sac wouldn't be destroyed, but I think with the poison leaking anywhere, it probably is destroyed. So I will. What the heck just happened here?
It's just a fucking book
God.
of psionic.
Did you break his tools?
I'm using
No,
up one of
he's-
his 6 psionic die to try and rule better thieves' tools because he ruled like a 10 plus
Give him
1.
guidance on that if that occurred. Jeez.
I mean, I decide, are you
It's not
harvesting
gonna
the
help.
scorpion or are you giving guidance? Cannot
Yeah,
be
I'll harvest the scorpion.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm out of whatever.
Just to be clear, Julian struggles with it and does not open the box.
Come on, Julian. You're normally better than this.
You let me down, boy.
Try crowbar, he just says. Just bang it with a crowbar. It's the worst that can happen.
I don't have a
Yo.
crowbar.
Strong man.
I
you
will
want to
stand
give it a try?
18, 20, 30 feet away in case he does that.
You need me to? Yeah, you need me to open this? I can do it. I'll
If
try.
anything happens, I don't.
try and strong man it.
I don't
My
have a
bare
way
hands.
of protecting you.
Nia, like, backs up.
Cool. Do you have a crowbar in your inventory?
Do
Do you have anything close to a crowbar in your inventory?
I have a hand axe.
Sure.
You could like wedge it, like
Yeah.
the blade into the.
Yeah, alright.
I chose Explorer's Pack. I don't know if it necessarily added all the things it might have. Let's see.
If you have anything resembling crowbar, you can roll your athletics with advantage.
I don't think an explorer's pack
How
can
long
get
does your
crowbar in this dungeon.
divine divinity whatever?
10 minutes.
Oh, you're still under its effect. You can roll with advantage anyways.
Yeah. So what do you want me to roll?
Advantage athletics if you're trying to break the box, right?
Sure.
Just with your bare fucking orc hands. Go ahead.
I'm gonna stand back. I don't know if that's warded.
He's fine. What's your roll?
Yeah, we're all sitting there.
25. There's nothing left of this very nice ornamental dark iron box as you just fucking put dents in the top of it and just off the hinges right off the bat. Break it apart. And something peculiar, several somethings peculiar, just rattle onto the deck. Several very small lead-looking objects, maybe fucking an inch in length. And something else. This small, strange metal device looking like the hilt of a sword with a small lever that can be like cocked back, a long metal tube that extends from the handle. There's like some sort of a trigger just like slightly above, which is this, like 6-chambered revolving cylinder. And it's just laying there.
Weird device.
Is this a gun?
Yeah. Reminds me of some like.
I want to look down the cylinder. No.
Do you pick up the gun?
I mean, I'll pick it up. Yeah.
You pick up the gun.
What is this? What is this piece of iron?
It's heavy, but it's not awkward. It fits well in your palm, and your index finger fits right into that trigger mechanism.
Yeah. Why not? Why not indulge? I wiggle it around. See what happens.
What, the trigger? Pressing the trigger causes the cylinder to revolve and the lever to emit a loud clicking noise. You give it a few clicks, and then like suddenly just the device erupts with like a loud bang, and a brief flash of flame spews from the tube's end. And you see like one of the vultures that perches nearby just drops from its perch and flops to the ground, and it's like not moving anymore. Weird.
What is this wizardry?
Hold on, Melina's gonna rush over and see and try to look at it, and this sounds like it would be something like from Hupperduke, something that the gnomes would kind of invent with their like mechanical beings and such in that.
Certainly, you've heard of such a device before, so most of you never seen it up close, let alone held one. Invented by, perhaps Hupperduke. Do you want to roll me like a history check?
Yeah.
Sure.
That seems fun. History, normal.
16. Oh, okay. This is like borderline legend because it's a very emerging technology, but you've read about this. Invented by Lord Percival de Rollo of Whitestone. These black powder firearms, indeed, are known to outrange and outshoot the strongest of crossbows. They use strange new technology, black powder, same substance used in fireworks and such, to propel forth these ballistic lead bullets, as you call them. This seems to be... you see like smoke arise from the end of this firearm. It takes some time to fiddle with the device's chamber cylinder, but eventually you help out your paladin to like open it, and you see the device appears to hold 5 pieces of ammunition.
Oh, 5. So then we used...
With one chamber
total...
empty.
Oh, okay. So
It's a 6-chambered revolver.
Gotcha. That's what I'm writing down.
Yes.
That's nice.
On the barrel, you can see in very fine engraving is carved Avandra's Kiss, the name of the weapon. You still have your detect magic aura going on? The weapon does not seem to meet any magical auras, and whatever abjuration magic was on the box is fucking gone.
Strange.
Would have been nice to have, but I mean, brute force sometimes wins.
Well, I was challenged, and so I did.
Well, then I would say the glory of yours is today, then. You helped slay this beast.
Yeah. Sorry.
If there's nothing left, or right, I overheard you say that you were thinking about harvesting this animal. Do you think we have the time, or
well,
should we
it
push
would
forward?
refill some rations that we've used. And I mean, our Winston needs kind of new plate for his armor and his shield.
Isn't plate usually metal though, like steel and whatnot?
This is chitinous, like what Riot's wearing.
It's kind of what the Kryn wear too.
Not particular.
Well, how long do you think it'll take you? We're gonna start losing daylight at some point.
Well, Riot would have done this while you were doing your ripping around and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, smashing a box open takes like a minute.
Depends if he has help. We'll go faster. We just need a bit of meat. And I mean, 1 or 2 plates, depending on how easy it is. If it's not easy, I'll leave it, but the meat would help. I would like to get the venom sac, but the venom sac looks busted.
It's possible to retrieve it if you try.
Well, I would take the venom sac if I could, just to get vials of venom.
Okay, so according to the rules, a creature can attempt a DC 20 nature check. You can add your proficiency with Poisoner's Kit if you have no proficiency with nature. But it's a DC 20 nature check to harvest a dose of this giant scorpion's poison.
Nature, I'm proficient in, and I don't have a poison. I do have a poisonous kit, but I'm not.
Poisoner's Kit will help you if you don't have a proficiency in nature. It's a replacement.
I do have
just
proficiency.
roll me a nature check. Yeah.
And I'll give myself guidance on this.
Sure.
Listening
to the Wild Mother's guidance and trying to harvest this sack without destroying it or poisoning yourself.
Yeah, I would not have advantage on this, right?
No. Unless somebody's helping you. Does anybody else have a nature proficiency?
No.
No.
Do you have
And I would go help you though, just for the sake of like the.
Does anybody have a medicine proficiency?
I do.
I would love to help you, Riot, but I fear I'd make things worse.
Okay, so I'm gonna say you can roll with. You can roll, and I'll take the higher roll between you and Nia as she's helping you.
Sure. What natural 20?
Dope.
Plus,
Yeah.
So
plus a
go ahead. Well, natural 20, so it's 25 beats 20. You just need to hit a 20, so that's awesome. You managed to harvest one dose of giant scorpion poison. You can add it to your inventory if you want. Giant scorpion poison is an injury poison, meaning you have to coat a weapon or a piece of ammunition with it and deliver it to a wound. It can be sold. You know it's been sold same as serpent poison for like 100 gold pieces a dose if you are looking to make money. Otherwise, if a creature fails a check against an 11 Constitution saving throw against this poison, it takes 3d6 poison damage on a fail save or guaranteed half on a success. I'll go ahead and copy and paste that, and you can just add it to your sheet however you wish.
Okay.
Yeah. Dope.
Fun.
Dope. Alrighty then. With that being said, anything else, guys?
I'm really tired.
We should be all right. I think we can.
We can save it for next session.
Yeah.
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 I'll hold off the continuing from here. I'm going to just sort of wrap it up. Bardette informs you that following this hiccup here, she found what she was looking for, and glad to see that you are okay. She will inform you that you are merely 4 hours away from your next sort of rest stop. And she says, good news that should we require water, there's water there. And not only that, but the oasis is rumored to have restorative properties, which you, especially you, Riot, regarding that petrified remains there. Rumors say that the oasis is blessed by the Wild Mother to be able to essentially greater restore those remains. Should you bathe them in the waters. Cool. So that's something you have looking forward to is in terms of one destination, unless you wish to route another one and circumvent it. We'll decide that by next session, but good job, guys, for surviving what is essentially a pretty nasty, quick boss with her legendary resistances and actions to sort of give her that action economy. Pretty nasty enemy, which you bested and got rewarded for. Make a handout for a gun later. It is a fanning weapon. It has a nice barrage property. And it has what's called piercing shot, which is if you line up your targets and you manage to hit the first one, you can roll a disadvantage against every single target behind that target and attempt to like pierce the bullet through them.
Nice.
So it has like a line cleave. Yeah.
Kind of like a lightning bolt,
just very low damage and not magical, but yes.
Yeah.
You can silver bullets, but yeah. Or you can even enchant them with elemental magic for sure, but yeah.
Damn, I'll take a fucking gun. I'll be a wizard just slinging spells back there like pop, 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 pop.
You gotta use probably Dex to actually fire it.
I have Dex.
Yeah, you have to use Dex with any ranged weapon, yeah.
Oh my god, on our like tabletop one that we play in person, we have a wizard and he has the cannon spell.
What?
Cannon?
Catapult, you mean?
Catapult, that's the one.
Oh.
Which basically makes a cannon. Cause
I gotta bounce, guys. Cheers.
See ya.
That later.
Good night, everybody. This was great, and I'm really happy that I managed to get it to work, even though I'm like an hour and a half from town.
Thank you for showing
In the
up. I
middle of
appreciate
the
it.
Highlands.
It worked out.
Bye.
Thank you for showing up, Anthony. Sorry for almost killing your character. So we have to
Hey,
figure.
need fluid
Nobody
for the
can
last
knife.
minute heal.
Yeah. So
Winston is forever.
before I let Winston go, I want to discuss something with you. So yes, you can drag, you can lift a lot. You count as one size above you. I saw all that. And with your channel divinity, you certainly have the strength. But when a creature has an ability and you save against it, I'm just confused what you wanted to happen. For it to land upon you and you just lift it above you? I would have let that happen, but you have to, buddy, you have to work with me. You have to decide what you want to happen. You gave me no other alternative. I'm not sure what you wanted to happen instead.
So what fair enough. So what I had imagined is, if I have a lifting capacity that's super high, whatever the values are, and this thing doesn't even come close, and it jumps on you, I just would hold it above my head as if I have it in my hands.
So did you not? I guess maybe we miscommunicated. Did you not hear me offer you just that?
No, I did not hear you
Okay.
offer me that. No. I did not hear that.
So we had a miscommunication, but I did offer that to you to be like, you can end right below it if you wish. Not a very good position for you to be in, but you could. Why not a good position? Because when you're carrying any object, even if you have carrying capacity, when you're carrying an object, you're essentially grappling them, and your speed is halved because you're carrying them. You can move them, but you're only moving at 20 speed, which will not mathematically will just not get you out of its zone. And you only have 6 health, which confused me as to why you're trying to keep yourself in that position when you can be just 5 feet away from it, and you can grab and drag it if you really want to carry it. You can show off your strength for sure. I would allow you to shove, because you count as one size above yourself. You count as a large creature. You can shove and drag huge creatures. That's in the rules. You're better off doing that 5 feet beside it than it crushing you beneath its weight. It's such a huge creature after all. It does weigh a lot. Perhaps not more than your character capacity, but that's still something crushing you.
So let's fair enough. So let's talk about that, because I'm trying to figure that out actually at this exact moment. So carry capacity is 15 times your strength.
Correct.
Okay. So I have a strength of 20. So that's 300.
But you're large, so it's 4 times that.
So that's double. So 600.
Let me. I'm just gonna look it up.
Yeah.
Lifting, carrying, using your ability scores in the SRD. Next page. Strength. Contest, skills, strength. Where is it? Massive checks, working together, group checks. Next. Lifting, carrying. Okay. Carrying capacity is your strength score multiplied by 15. This way is in pounds. Push, drag, or lift. You can push, drag, or lift a weight in pounds up to twice your carrying capacity, which is 30 times your strength score. While pushing or dragging a weight in excess of carrying capacity, your speed is reduced to only 5 feet. Large creatures can bear more weight, whereas tiny creatures can carry less. For each size category above medium, double the creature's carrying capacity. So large is double, yes.
Okay, so I can carry up to 600 pounds, okay, which means if I follow the push, drag, lift, I can push, drag, lift 1,200 pounds.
You can push, drag, or lift 60 times your strength score. What is your strength score?
60 times.
What is your strength score?
I did math differently, but I think it's going to be the same result anyway.
Okay.
Yes. So 60 times my strength score is 1,200 pounds.
What is your strength score? 20. I want to be on the same page as you.
20. Yeah.
So 1,200 pounds, yes, is what you can push, drag, or lift when
1,200 pounds
without your. Actually, your channel divinity does not up that.
It has not even come into play at this point. That's just normal.
it gives you advantage on what your channel divinity. It came to play.
So no. In this conversation, I have not brought in the peerless athlete yet. So
Right.
by default, I can push, drag, lift 1,200 pounds. Now, if I channel peerless athlete, channel my divinity peerless athlete, that it doubles that again.
Dope.
So does that mean 2,400 pounds?
Yep.
Okay. Because I miscalculated earlier. So 2,400 pounds while I'm channeling my divinity. That's like a ton. That's like a metric ton plus some.
Yep.
And so in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this thing jumped on me. I imagine it's not more than 1,000 pounds. Nevertheless, I'm imagining that I could have just, it wouldn't push me out of its space. I could just hold it above my head. Now, if there was miscommunication, there's definitely miscommunication going on. And I did not hear you offer me that option.
Okay, well,
I didn't hear
you
it.
can go over it. That's why I record sessions, so you can go over it. But I'm not going to die on this hill. Just in future, I guess we just have to communicate better. But I want to establish that now. So you have that option now if you want to. If I break combat and I'm already listening to you, I'm down to hear your suggestions in that moment. If you wish to play such a character that can lift 24,000 pounds, you should. You should feel powerful. You should have your strengths. Absolutely. Especially if you're a peerless athlete. Something out of the mythos.
Yeah, it's straight up.
Whether or not this monster is weighing more than your carrying capacity is sort of my call.
Of course.
And I can easily argue that a monster of size huge can supersede a ton. Especially considering that like an elephant is size large. Just as an example. And this is like a mammoth of a leviathan of a creature. Size huge is like a story and a half in height alone, let alone length. So I can easily argue it's more than a ton. But I'm not going to do such calculations in mid-combat, especially if it's a chitinous insect that is light enough to climb a ship and carry its own weight without cracking a ship. We can definitely do a whole Clash of the Titans moment where you lift it or drag it or whatnot. Absolutely. You're risking your own armor in this process, so I'm all for it anyways. But all jokes aside, communicate to me the alternatives you want, and I will be as commandeering as I can. But overall, aside from that, I think it was a good session, treasure-wise and all that. What?
I was gonna say, one thing to note though too, if you do grapple the creature, you have to have a free hand, but you have a shield and a sword in one, so don't forget you might have to drop one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Or both.
Yeah. I was just saying, sometimes I forget that shit.
Just one.
I just always, sometimes I forget.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only wielding the shield just to raise that AC a smidge. Speaking of that AC, so I don't know. I had maybe I made the assumption that I'm level 8. A level 8 whatever would have done enough venturing to raise enough coin, or at least at some point stumble across full plate. So that was an assumption on my part.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I added it to the inventory, just because it just made sense. So if that's not the case, which we kind of did mid-game, I changed it to half plate. Let's see here.
Even half plate is, I mean, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
It just seems
I
like
was very clear to you the equipment you get. You asked me what equipment do I get when I am at level 8, and I gave you your magic sword +1, your 500 plus the D10 you ruled, which I don't know what you ruled, but I trust you, up to 750 gold pieces, which is the gold amount you're talking about, adventuring days and all that. You save out 750 gold pieces max. That's a treasure trove for an adventurer like you at that level. And your starting equipment. Your starting equipment being chainmail. If you wish to then spend that gold to upgrade your armor to a half plate or whatever, you can. That's your goal to spend. That's why it's there for magic items and armor. but a full set, an AC-18 full set of plate costs $1.50 at least. So
Yeah, well, let's be fair here. I didn't ask you. I mean, you did share what my paladin starts with +1 longsword and a 500 gold plus whatever. I did not necessarily ask what was my starting equipment. And I think that was sort of a miss in creating this character.
did you roll for your starting equipment when you rolled a level 1 character?
Did I roll? No. I just went with whatever the character mentor said. There was no rolling.
So whatever character mentor said, it gave you equipment to start with, right? At level 1.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So
at level 1.
And it gave that starting equipment. At level 1, that's starting equipment. You get chainmail. On top of that, you then get 500 plus up to 250 for a total.
I get that. I get that. But if we're talking about a sense of realism, if this person has been in this world to advance from level 1 to level 8, I'm sure that he had advanced his armor beyond just the chain mail. So again, I made an assumption.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption, which is why you have that gold that I gave you. With that gold, you can buy better armor. It's just that you cannot afford full plate. That is the advantage you make.
What's your dex? I was just curious.
My dex is 0. That's okay. I mean, if that's how you're rolling it, that's cool. Fine, I'll go with that. I'm not trying to create an argument. I'm just trying to make a sense of realism that just doesn't make sense to me. I'm just going to be honest. If this character was doing this for however long this character has been doing it, he would have had far more money, funds, whatever, than just the starting equipment plus 500 gold plus a roll.
Mm-hmm.
That's my argument. Is if we're talking about a sense of realism, that's realistic to me.
Okay.
I mean, if you disagree, you disagree. There's a handful of other things that seem a little slighted when we talk about rules. So I made an assumption.
Yep.
I was going to offer, if you take Splint, it's only 200 gold, and it gives you 17 AC off the bat, so you can save money with that. You can still use the aesthetic of whatever. You can just say it's Splint, but it's really, what you're wearing right now. You can reflavor it. You can save some money with that, and you still get 17. And it uses your strength. Half plate is more expensive, but that's
also
17 plus dex.
Crazy fucking idea. We're adventurers, we're on an adventure. Why we're here in the desert in the first place? We're here on a treasure quest. Maybe the end goal of this treasure will be to acquire gold that would help you complete this goal that you want. You want full plate armor. You already have some gold saved up on you. Maybe all you need is a little bit more gold in order to buy yourself and earn that full plate you want so much. And that way you will have... There's your reason for your character to adventure with this party. Because... I think in the beginning of the session we were like, oh, I'm here because of the vision, but I have no idea why you guys are here in the desert. And I'm sitting here like, well, I think the party is here for gold at least. So maybe that can be a goal for your character. Something to drive you forward. Because after all, if you are not adventuring for those sort of gains, then what are you adventuring for? Materialistically. Just an idea.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find something here at the end that'll benefit everyone. Or at least not help us in our adventure.
Every adventure, every encounter, you find treasure that if you don't need, you can just sell it. That gun alone is 250 gold pieces if you sell it. For example, the fan is magical, can be sold. That's all, you can recycle kit you don't need for kit that you do want. In that regard, plate armor, which $1.50 might sound a lot for a level 1 adventure or even a level 8 adventure with their starting gold and stuff, but when you consider the amount of treasure that the level 8 party gets, it's really achievable in like 2-3 sessions, realistically.
But that's my point, though, that I was making.
Okay, I take the rules from the DMG. I can show you the page that I'm using, and I prefer to keep the game balanced to the rules as written because I'm curious to see how a game runs when you run it to the rules. Whenever I run the game to the rules and I see that a certain rule does not make sense to me, I change it. So far, the rulings I made sense to me, and that's sort of the benefit of being a DM, is you get to make the last call. If this is truly a point of contention that is making the game worse for you, I will give in and give you your full plate armor. And this will be along the lines of what I did during Caustic Shroud, where I just relented and gave players what they wanted. It doesn't matter what I thought about it. It doesn't matter how irrelevant it made future sort of encounters and stuff, how it quickly ramped up too much. I gave in. I was trying to do better this campaign and run it to a certain set of rules that I read to see how the game is supposed to be run when you run this module as written, etc. If it's such a point of contention that you're not enjoying the game, if you don't have your full plate, I will gladly just go back on ruling and just give you your full plate. Would you like that?
No. Give me a moment.
Sure, you can think about it.
Let me think about this.
Yeah.
Because, no, I don't want to break the game. That is not my goal. And I don't want to be selfish either. Again, that's not my goal to be selfish. I'm just processing what you said. And
if it's more fun for you to play...
Maybe I need to self-reflect. That I guess my problem with that, if it's more fun for me to play, I could sit here and say yes. That'd be more fun because I'd be so much more powerful. I don't want to do that because it takes away from the overall mechanics of the game. And in my mind, it takes away from the other players if I can just hold on to the concept of it's what I want.
I don't think it takes away from the other players. I don't think other players care what sort of armor you're wearing. It's not like I'm like, oh, well, tough Julian, you don't get to wear heavy plate, full plate, because he's a rogue. And I don't think a single party member here can wear the armor you're wearing. So it's not about other players. I'm asking you to, if you want, you can take a moment to think about it. If it's a point to where this is how you imagine your character, he's level 8, and this point, after everything has been, after all his low-rich backstory, he's earned this military uniform and armor, I'll give it to you as part of your backstory, sure. My only point about that is I wish we discussed that when I was discussing with your character. I would have not then went by... I had 3 tables to go by. The low magic table, where we're playing a campaign where there's like almost no magic items, the normal table, and the high magic table. I gave you the high magic table. I gave you the above and beyond sort of table with the extra gold and extra stuff, which even to you that doesn't not make sense. So in order to counterbalance that, I would have given you the full plate armor and would have said that this is what you've spent your gold on. Which even that doesn't matter because you had Xena just give 500 gold to this guy who sent a message. So again,
I'm not following what you mean by the.
My bottom line is if you want your full plate, you can have it. If it's really important to you to have it for your character, for immersion's sake, for making sense of the game and keeping your head in the immersive state of playing this soldier or what your character is, you need this plate, you can have it. I'm here to run a game that's for the players, for their fun, for their immersion, not here to compete and rule higher than you guys, etc. That's my bottom line.
Fair enough. Like I said, let me think about it. Let me process this because, again, I don't want to. When I say I don't want to take away from the other players, I'm not saying that there's items that they can't have that I get. I'm saying watering down is probably how I'd phrase it, right? The more items that are brought into the game, the more gold that's brought in, the more whatever abilities, the more anything that is just added to the group can water everybody down. It just everybody kind of gets watered down, and I don't want to do that because then the game balance is thrown off and difficulty becomes thrown off, and I don't want to do that. So again, let me think about it.
Okay.
I appreciate the offer and the willingness to just hand it over, but you brought this. You said you followed the rules, so let me actually think about what I'm truly asking for, and whether it's just in asking for it.
Sure.
Nick, I don't. You asked about my dex. Yeah, I have a 0, so not a lot of high dex. I don't know if that was relevant or not.
Yeah, because the half plate uses dex. It's a medium armor, actually. A lot of people forget that.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's why I was offering.
I see.
If you don't have dex,
No.
use your strength score. Use
No.
splint if you wanted to. Because it's literally 3 times cheaper. It's only 200 gold, and it gives you 17. Still the same armor.
But plus dex.
But it uses your strength.
Right on.
Yeah. If you don't have dex, then it doesn't matter. But you're gonna save gold. So I was just trying to meet a happy medium for everyone. But yeah, you can do that.
What else?
It's an option, for sure. And who knows what Riot can carve up. Yeah. And to be fair, this is another reason I didn't. Creating this character felt rushed. I'll put it that way. It was another reason why I was thinking about doing it the session after this. Time to plan and think and formulate a better intro. So this character did feel rushed, and here we are.
Well, we got a bit of an idea now. We can take the next week if you want any help with anything, or I'm sure if you want to adjust anything. I mean, should be cool.
Yeah. No worries. Overall, I'm excited to play a different persona. Yeah. It's different. I look forward to it.
Are you going to be the guy who just walks around with trophies all over his belt? Be like,
That
giant fucking claw. I did this. I'm fucking
No.
awesome.
I
should
didn't think about it that way. No.
You should do this. Get a sidekick, to follow you around and who just scribes all of your greatness on like the time, dates, and stamps. He just follows you around, and that's all he does. He's just writing epic poems and stories about what you're doing. Like, you're just sitting there eating beans around a campfire and farting, but he like writes it in such a better way. He's like, the stoic hero sits down and he eats his meal, though it's very humble. He is strong-willed and heart. Like, just something fucking stupid. That'd be funny.
That kind of would be.
Well, if you're not going to use it, I'm going to do it sometime.
You might as well. I mean, it was your idea.
Well, what's your background?
That's what I'm pulling up right now. I just.
I was going to say, if you have a noble
see what I even
background,
put
it
down.
does allow you to
No.
take. Oh, okay.
A knight.
Noble.
A knight has
No,
a
you get
knight
squire.
has your a knight has squire. I think. Let me see. I don't believe I chose it. What the hell? Oh, it was behind all my screens. Wonder I couldn't find it. Oh, Roll20 didn't add everything.
I thought the knight gives you a squire, but I know the nobles give you like 3 people. But like, they won't go into danger. They won't. You can't be like, hey,
Right.
go walk into that dungeon for me. They're gonna say, no, fuck you. Like, and then they'll bounce. They'll follow you and they'll do everything within reason. But you can
Yeah.
literally just have like a Monty Python band like right behind you, and I think that's the funniest like underutilized thing. You literally have like 3 sidekicks at that point.
Yeah, no, you're right. I I chose not to go down that path. I chose entertainer, but I did not
okay.
choose knight because, to be honest, I didn't want to add more complexity to the overall party. I didn't want to add more NPCs, if you will, more little minions, because that's what they are, minions. They do mundane things, nothing eventful, nothing of note. I just didn't want to add more, so I chose entertainer. Yeah.
What does entertainer get? Because that's one I've never used.
You thrive in front of an audience, which true.
Oh.
You know,
It
and
would be great for the Blood Bowl.
For sure. Oh, for sure. I was debating between entertainer and gladiator.
Yeah,
but I
Gladiator
think I
would be
went.
a good one.
I think I went with entertainer because just the persona, and popular by demand is its background feat. You can always find a place to perform in a tavern or circus, wherever, and you receive free lodging and food of a modest or comfortable standard.
Wow.
When strangers recognize you in a town where you perform, they typically take a liking to you. I don't know. It just kind of added up. Again, it was between this and Gladiator. It seemed more fitting for the overall role.
Yeah.
And I think I chose some sort of instrument. What did I pick? How was it? I think it was like pan flute or something.
Yeah.
A flute or something.
I always just like repurpose one of the instruments, and I always take the taggle harp. It's like a Nordic.
What?
It's a taggle harp. It's like a 3-string, like very deep, low instrument, kind of like very like moody, melancholy, like just deep sound. But you can make it do like lighter stuff too. I really like that instrument, so I always like take that with instruments.
Taggle harp.
Half the instruments I look at online, and I'm just like, what the fuck are these? Like, I've never heard of these before. And I'm like, I know a taggle harp. That's fucking it.
I'm looking this up. What the fuck is a taggle? Taggle? Oh,
It's
okay.
a Viking violin.
Yeah, well, a harp. It looks like a harp. No?
It's only got 3 strings, and it's got a bow.
Way wrong.
Yeah. It's a bowed lyre, or lyre. I don't know if it's lyre or lyre. But I always like that instrument. I always just
4
repurpose
strings?
that.
Oh, taggle harpa.
Sure.
Not that I'm correcting you. I'm just reading.
No. I was saying
what
sure, like
Google has
I have no idea.
told me. Yeah, I see the 3 or 4 instruments.
Strakharpa.
Yeah.
A bowed lyre is Okay, I can totally see this being Viking-ish. Oh, here's one with an actual bow.
Yeah.
And this is your default instrument because you're just so Nordic.
No, I just like the sound of it.
What does that mean? Who plays this shit?
Cool people, obviously.
When's the last time you just sat around a campfire and heard somebody play this thing?
It's called YouTube, butthole.
Well, teach me about this YouTube.
Okay, listen here, boomer.
Yeah, I'm such a boomer.
Please, boomer.
It's like a whole generation or two above me, but I'll just accept it. Taggle
I
harp.
lump you in. No, I
Yeah,
lump you in.
it's fine. Just throw me in whatever
You're
genre
fine.
you want.
I fucking know what.
If that's the case, and when I listen to this, I'm not going to tell you how much I like it. In fact, I'm going to tell you
how
the
much
opposite.
you love it.
I'm going to tell you how much I hate it.
Fine.
And you're a fool.
I'll eat your mac and cheese tomorrow, and I'll
Who
say
the
like,
hell?
oh yeah, you know what? This is it's okay, it's subpar, and you'll be like, nah, see, that's what you get for talking
Now
shit about
you're
Taggleheart.
this.
Now you're striking at the heart.
I kind of wish you would say that out loud in front of everyone.
Fine, I will tomorrow.
Daggle Harpa. I'm gonna YouTube this motherfucker. Let's see what. I hope it's like you're the only one that's playing it, just in your fucking
Yeah, it's
closet
just
or
me.
some shit.
It's actually just me on YouTube. I put my face over everyone else's, and it's
Yeah.
just me forever playing the Taggleheart.
It's just and those still images of as the face turns, it's only looking straight left or right.
Yeah, I just AI'd everything with my face.
You're talented.
I am pretty great.
Okay.
Well, Steam fucking sale is pretty dope, and Tom, you should really buy Day of the Diver. It's actually really good. It's really fun. The characters are really nice.
Dave the Diver. You
Oh,
keep
well.
talking.
Oh, my recording has been going on to start time. I'll shut it off now.
Surprise.